University of Wisconsin in the classroom of Professor Allison Prash. She teaches a presidential rhetoric class. And the students there told me they became more energized over the last couple of weeks because they just didn't like what they were hearing from the Trump campaign. Also, I should tell you that this particular city has just seen tremendous growth over the last few years. And a lot of those folks who have moved in here have been highly educated, blue-leaning voters. So this is becoming a much deeper blue part of the state, too. So that might cut into some of those margins that Trump might have in those red counties. So this might be the place where Harris might find a little bit of good news with those youth voters, like around the country. They've been standing in lines today, waiting to vote. So we'll see what it actually produces as the night goes on. But waiting for those absentee ballots to be processed, that's the thing that takes so long.
Absentee ballots.
Keep us sort of waiting throughout the night. But they tell us that it's moving along smoothly. They had a small snafu earlier, but it was just a small technical glitch. They think that's going to move along. So Milwaukee and, of course, Madison will probably deliver well for her. And the big question is going to be how big, because as you said, 20,000 votes or so for Biden last time. Can she do better than that? That's what she's going to have to.
If there's a World War III, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about like
28% of the voting.
This gets crazy for some reason. Worst case scenario plays out. Trump wins. He gets assassinated the next day. That's what everyone keeps on saying, right? I mean, come on. Be real. But let's just play that game. Let's just play that game. So he wins, but something happens. I think that could. I just don't see. You know what? I don't see the right rioting. I see the left rioting more.
I don't see anyone really rioting for a sustained period of time. Maybe for a minute or two, then they go right back.
I see the hate coming from the left more than the right. Like I don't see them going into the stores and looting and stuff like that. No, I don't. No, you don't see that. It's more of the, I guess, takers.
I don't think anyone will react to you harshly anymore. I hope nobody gets killed, though.
You don't see him going.
What?
He says you don't see them going to the Capitol.
I doubt it.
Well, I don't know. That's Racer said that don't see him going to the Capitol. But you do see him. I mean, they did go to the Capitol. That was the one thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
anything's possible.
Anything's possible, I guess. I just think it's got to be, people. Like, there's consequences to pay. People have to get up the next day. It's not like the world's going to end. So you have to pay the consequence. You're going to go out there and risk getting arrested and stuff.
A couple people will, but not enough to make
Yeah, not enough was going to make it happen. There'll be those crazies out there. They're going to, psychos.
All right, one more. A little more soda. Thanks. Need some more mold. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think people are like that anymore.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a nice thing. Meltdown videos. That's going to be big. Meltdown videos, like Democrats, like crying the next day and yelling at the camera and then filming themselves.
It's not over yet, this whole thing, right?
I am moving out of this country.
You are listening.
That's what you're going to be hearing tomorrow.
Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at DTL.
That's really not. No, you're not going out of the country. You don't have enough money for a plane ticket. Well, what do we got here? They're talking in Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania, it's getting close.
Oh, that's the whole. Oh, it is coming back. He's coming back, isn't he?
Let's head to Matt Gutman now. He's in Philly tonight. Matt, we're seeing roughly 22% of the vote now. Vice President Kamala Harris seems to be holding on to her lead over the former president. As we know, Pennsylvania has the most electoral votes of any swing state, Matt.
19 of them, Kira, and the math doesn't work for either candidate unless they win Pennsylvania. And Kamala Harris jumped out to a very big and early lead. That has dwindled to what we are seeing right now. And this is why there's so much focus tonight on the count, when it will be done. Governor Josh Shapiro telling me 2 days ago and coming out again saying, we aim first to be accurate. That is the most important. But everybody knows here that there is this dissonance at play. They've got to be fast and accurate. In 2020, it took them 5 days to tabulate the entire vote. They now hope to do it in a much shorter amount of time. All the counties here have committed to not stopping the count until they are fully done. Every vote is tabulated. Kira.
Our Matt Gutman, historic Philadelphia.
Why is that?
Matt, I'm Kira Phillips. Glad
why is that so different from every other state? Why can't they get their shit together? The 5 days it takes them to vote.
Led by David Muir. Don't go far. Our race for the White House coverage.
It's like they almost like are like sounded kind of
We've
fishy.
shared a strange, unusual experience, but seeing you here tonight just opens my heart up again.
Oh, Nike is crying. Oh yeah, the Nike is dead. They're already at the, you know, it's dead.
Golden Bachelor. What's wrong with these guys?
Golden Bachelor. All right, how old are these girls gonna go? Oh, they're going for
Old one.
older lady.
Golden Bachelor.
All right.
All right.
They should throw a young stud in there with the, you know, like here's your wild card.
Some like thuggy black dude, like big dick hanging out.
Yeah, kung fu. I gotta play that for them.
Cobra. I think they can handle it.
I don't know if you guys ready for something? You guys ready to watch something really funny? Oh, let's take a look at the updated map here right away. All right, well, 172 to 81. Illinois was take Illinois. Oh, we got some more news coming up here. Yeah.
And we'll go right back to the Nevada board. At this hour, all 7 battleground states are now closed, and ABC News can take a look at the numbers coming in from each one. Georgia, 79% of the vote is in. They said they would have the
Georgia's
vote in
go
tonight.
Trump.
Kamala Harris behind Donald Trump in that state. We'll dive in whether or not she can make that up anywhere in Georgia. Also, North Carolina tonight, Kamala Harris behind Donald Trump.
That's the big swing. That was the big one.
46, 16 electoral votes on the line. 66% of the vote in. We'll
That's
dive
going
into
to Trump.
where
It's
that
over.
vote remains. In Pennsylvania at this hour, Kamala
That's
Harris
too
holding
close
on to
to
a
call.
very slim lead in the very important state, Keystone State, 19 electoral votes. Very difficult to win the White House without the state of Pennsylvania. As you can see, about 43% of the vote in at this hour. Kamala Harris with the slightest of leads there. In Michigan at this hour, another battleground state, part of that blue wall that the Democrats are hoping to keep. 15 electoral votes. Kamala Harris with a lead over a former President Trump. 466.
Wow, look at the market taking off on this news.
419.
Day Turner Rockstar already projecting a winner.
In at this hour.
Wisconsin, the first one out.
A moment ago. Wisconsin.
I would like to make an announcement. Put
Very
this out.
close race there, about a point between them. And as I mentioned, 4 out of the last 6 presidential elections decided in that state by less than a point. Arizona tonight. Another
Johnny, can you hear me? Bitcoin 73.
Yet, though, the polls have
Bitcoin is running. Bitcoin is running.
On the line there. We do have states. ABC News is
I'm gonna
ready
bring
to
up
project
Bitcoin.
at this hour. Let's take a look. Utah tonight. 6 electoral votes going to
I feel like I'm
Donald Trump.
landed on the moon. moon here.
Montana, the 4 electoral votes.
The news,
going to Trump
the
there.
music
We're gonna watch
behind
that
me.
Senate race very closely. The
Bitcoin's
Democrat John
running.
Tester trying to hold on, and a state Trump has now won repeatedly. Colorado, Kamala Harris wins the state of Colorado, 9 electoral votes. Goes to the
Colorado.
vice president.
Nice going,
Look at the
racer.
map, the road to 270.
Oh, he's in
Kamala
Oklahoma.
Harris winning 7 states.
We'll blame him
Washington,
anyway.
D.C.
No credit
Donald
card.
Trump winning
You can try
17
out
states.
all of our services for
172
10
electoral
days at
votes for him, up to 91 for Kamala Harris at this hour. Our coverage of the 2024 presidential election continues right now.
This
All right, going
is
to Bitcoin
an
here
ABC
fast.
Special. The time has finally come. Right now,
Bitcoin
all
testing the highs from 2
America
weeks
All right,
ago.
let me turn off the thing here. Sorry about that.
Your next president on this historic night with the stakes.
Connection lost.
All right. So Bitcoin here, 73,419 looks like, right?
Yeah, it's testing a high that it made back on Tuesday the
Connection
29th.
lost.
Let's go. Let's go out to 60-minute chart. Oh, look at that move! Wow.
Huge candle on the 60
Yeah, huge.
in the 4-hour chart.
That went up 4,000 points.
Connection lost.
More than that.
I got out too quick, man. I got out at 71.
Wow. And look at the divergence this was. This is on the 60-minute chart. Look at that divergence. Holy crap.
Connection lost.
Look at that is serious.
You see November 3rd, John.
I'm talking about on this 60-10 down
That's
here.
where I took my long.
Now we don't
I held on to it.
we don't look at this too much. The 60-10 on the 60-minute, but that kind of makes that's an interesting
Connection
divergence.
lost.
Something to pay attention in the future. Let's see what it looks like on the No, that's it. That's as far as we're going to go on that.
That's equivalent to a 4-hour chart. 14,
Yeah.
43.
That's amazing. That was amazing.
Connection
New
lost.
all-time highs.
New all-time highs on Bitcoin.
I believe so. Let me see. 75, 74.
New all-time highs on Bitcoin. I believe so. Let me see. 75, 74.
Sorry, I had some echo going.
What was that?
Connection lost.
Yeah. I was looking at him before. The guy with the sideburns?
He's like, it's like, look like they put like black shoe polish.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I said, they look like they died there. He looked like he died.
Line is humongous.
Yeah, and his side.
Connection lost.
Put him on the air. Hair alert.
Huge bearish divergence on the daily setting up on Bitcoin.
No, I don't do hair alerts anymore. Hair alert on CNBC.
All-time highs tested,
Connection
John,
lost.
right almost to the penny in BTC. 73,686. Whoops.
Tony Vargas, Nebraska.
I think we did it. I think we did all-time high just now. Yeah.
Connection lost.
Yeah, my monthly chart's actually giving me a green, bouncing off a green ticker on it.
Wow, look at this thing go. So, to give you an update on what we're looking at, market's rallying hard.
Connection lost.
Oh, I keep on getting connection long. Let me quit on that. Where's my
And altcoins should get a move too. Holy shit, look at. Yeah, Cardano is up about 13% from
Connection
32
lost.
to 36. Ethereum ripping.
wow. The Dow is up 580 points. Nasdaq's up 267 points.
Nice.
S&P is up 76 points.
Connection lost.
And that's it. That keeps on.
Yes, honey.
I gotta turn that thing off because it keeps on disconnecting here.
Anytime. You don't see that. Now it's quiet.
Usually, yeah.
The election has something
this
to
is
do.
not normal. This is a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, Doge is getting Dogecoin is getting a big pop.
I mean, when Trump was projected to win, the futures did the same.
Did the same thing? John, last year was like this.
When
Trump
4
was.
years ago when he won, it was big night.
Yeah, it always gives you some good moves. I mean, especially with the polls.
Solana highest level since August, and all-time high is just above. Let's see.
Funny hair.
Solana's got a lot of room to catch up to break the all-time highs.
He messed up, right? Not this guy.
Look, not
David Muir.
David Muir.
He's weird looking.
Yeah. I just said, look, he was
Dogecoin
trying to do his Eddie Munster impression.
All right, there it goes, Johnny. 75K on Bitcoin. This is Discovery Zone now. All those shorts are going to get blown out. There's got so many shorts.
You
like
can
for
try out
9
all of our
months for the
services
short.
for 10 days at dtr.tv.
The 127 fib is
Yeah,
75.
what it was.
And have a great day.
A little bit now.
Oh, yeah. Trump just pulled ahead in Pennsylvania.
A lot to go in Philadelphia.
What Don
That's
trade?
kind of
What playlist? What
by
do you
far
mean?
the biggest city. We're seeing Delco go very strongly for
Geronimo's here?
for Kamala Harris. She's outperforming where she would need
Yeah,
to
sure.
be. Also outperforming where Joe Biden
Johnny
was.
is
And
talking on
same
the
story
air.
up through Montgomery. And this is
And I'm
still
on
an
Skype.
interesting one. Bucks County. A lot of folks are keyed into that. A lot
So
of folks
Trump has
still
taken a lead here
unclear
in
exactly
Pennsylvania.
what kind of vote that is.
Or is this
But
Virginia?
At least now, Kamala Harris outperforming that benchmark. So it's just a long night to go, but we're getting close to half the votes in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Big
this
one.
would appear to be her strongest state so far as her
Texas,
benchmark.
thank you.
Well, she's supposed to win that, and then she's
beating
losing.
that
How is it her
538
strongest state?
average of where these
Appreciate
candidates
you
need to
feeling
be.
me
Donald
in on
Trump,
that, Steve,
in a number
Texas.
of
We
the
talk
counties
about
just
that
showed,
pretty much every
slightly
show I do on
below,
Wednesday night. Trump's got up, did the Bitcoin conference and was really bullish on Bitcoin. He said he was going to make it so it wasn't taxable when you send Bitcoin from one address to another.
This is him, right? Look at his fake hair on his side.
Look at him.
His fake hair.
Can you hear me, Johnny?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
There's a lot of things going on. I'm just
Didn't mean to talk over your
no,
news.
it's fine. We're just rolling with it.
People don't realize I can't hear the news coming back through Skype, so
I'm trying to mute it when you're on.
I got you. Well, don't do that because I guess we want to hear what they're saying.
Yeah, in and out. So market here kind of got up to 58.95, pulled back to the 20.
And Bitcoin's still going at it. They're eating through some stops, man.
I want to bring up the Bitcoin chart again over here.
Look at a 4-hour chart.
All right, hold on.
It's nuts, man. That candle is huge.
So no plans of selling into this pop.
No, I'm waiting for 79 to 80. I've got sell orders already there.
What?
So I think that's going to be one. I'm going to unload a total of about half. I'm already out about almost
That's
a
just
third.
in the chat. A lot of people down in the chat. That's good. That's all right. Let's take a look at this. So market's starting to pull back, and you can see Bitcoin pulling back a little.
Lost.
Yeah, it hit that 75 level exactly. It looks like.
Yeah. I keep on getting that disconnection from my Coinbase feed, so I'm just going to turn that back off. I want to look at that one more time, but we're good. Don't use all that Coke. Oh, I got some. Is that our last of the Coke?
Connection lost.
Want to get one? Okay. Good job. Jump.
All right, let's play here.
What are you doing now? Picking apart Pennsylvania?
Yeah, let's take a look here. I want to take a look.
Because once again, Democrats are going to come in late. They're going to come in late in Pennsylvania.
Oh, this is the lady here. Yeah, they said, oh, Pennsylvania, this is all planned out. Democrats are going to come in late.
Performing and DeKalb and Cobb and
I don't know, but she dyed her hair real white.
Donald Trump is doing points better in some of the rural areas.
Yeah.
So again, Democratic
she's starting to look like George Washington.
I'm seeing that happen once again.
I take
good
credit for
information that Philadelphia
I took credit
is
for
going
that
to come in much stronger than in 2020. And by the way, in some of these areas, you can compare apples to apples, but Kamala Harris has had to build a different coalition. So I'm also looking in some of these suburbs if the issue of abortion, the threat of democracy, if it worked in those areas in terms of pulling out her vote.
And those are the collar counties around Philadelphia. Can we take another look at that based on Donna's point here, whether or not
this guy, look at this guy.
Is having
oh, look at
in those
open that up, baby.
Connection lost. Yeah, for sure. Chester County is a key one there. It's about 5% of the whole statewide total. Not a lot of information.
I love this lady's linebacker.
Someone tells me to do to hold even there. Montgomery.
The shoulder pads.
And outperformance so far again.
That is huge shoulder pad.
Throughout the night to try to track this, because this is good news if you're the Harris campaign. Delco, similar story.
Good news. Look above you, buddy.
One of the interesting
look above you.
Is just how
they're picking around Philadelphia
down a little bit,
and they're like, oh, this is good news for. Everyone's freaking out. She's this lady here with the white hair.
Even though it was elsewhere in the state that
look, Philadelphia, 78% to 20. Let those drug addicts die.
What kind of coalition
did I say that?
Becomes really important through all of this. You can also look at some of the more battleground, closely divided places.
Pay attention to Philadelphia, though. That's where the school buses are going to erupt out into bus garages.
A lot of it is in-person vote that might shift some of these numbers. These are not horrible numbers. You asked me earlier about Erie.
No, I'm not kidding. I don't. Philadelphia, they got to fix Philadelphia. I don't know why Philadelphia doesn't want to change.
Connection lost.
Real battle lines. What do you make of what you're seeing?
Well, I think it's going to take a long time.
Thanks for listening,
we're just
and
going to have to be
day.
patient with Pennsylvania. They're pretty slow at getting these results in. There's
this guy's
even
pretty
though
slow.
Not as much as 2020. Just a
Connection
boatload
lost.
of early votes that still need to be counted. A lot in Philadelphia County. So I'm a little bit slow to opine on Pennsylvania, but I do think things are.
Is he
looking
stoned?
very interesting south of Pennsylvania.
He took a shot. He took a hit in the bathroom before he came out.
There's not getting a lot of attention yet, but I think people are going to start focusing on Virginia.
The closeness of Virginia. Let's take a look, Rick. Where does Virginia stand right now?
Yeah, this is just one of those really strange ones to see a 4,000 vote edge. A lot of votes left in the Democratic area.
That's all of a sudden strange. Trump's winning.
One of the things that strikes me, David, looking at the map as it's filled in so far, the fact that the Democrats are sweating some of the places that should have been safe.
I got to turn that.
We haven't made a projection in New Hampshire. We haven't made a projection in Connecticut, Rhode Island. We talked about earlier, closer than we thought. Of course, Virginia. These are places that Democrats flat out have to win if they're going to have any chance.
Take us through some of those states. Let's see where New Hampshire stands, because we saw some tightening in the polls leading up to election day.
Yeah, we did, and this is
it's good hair, but
kind of thought would be called a little earlier in the night because they have a pretty tradition. Most of the Democratic votes are in the southern part of the state, and again, Harris is leading. The question is going to be really how much she wins by,
outperforming herself,
outperforming there. But to me, the fact that we're even talking about states like this tells you how things are at least tipping early in the night. And the southern states, clearly there's an edge right now in Georgia and North Carolina. North Carolina, I've been tracking a lot.
There was something contest or something out there.
And that's hard to make up when you're at 70% of the vote. The thing that is keeping it, though, out of anyone's win column is Mecklenburg County. That's Charlotte. Kamala Harris is winning there. She's not hitting the 538 benchmark number, but you want to see a really big dot emerge. There it is. and that's almost 500,000 votes that are still out in the Charlotte area. But if she's winning at 60-40 instead of 68,
look at the big number above you, buddy.
68-30. That means you're just not getting as many votes out.
Just
of it,
look at
and
the
that
big
makes it
number.
hard to catch up against that number.
No question about that. We're going to check in with Trump headquarters in Florida. We're
That's for
gonna
the
check
whole
with Harris
state, right,
headquarters,
John?
See what the
Yeah.
mood is on the ground at this point.
Okay, so
tonight.
they're trying.
And
What
we're
he's
gonna
trying to do
keep
now
digging
is
into
trying
these
to find some more Democrat
states,
votes.
Pennsylvania, Michigan.
Yeah, they're trying to find where they kind of keep it going. But they even say they kind of conceded right here. So I don't know where they're going to find these votes, or I don't know if they're going to be able to catch that number. He said.
No, I'm playing with my dentures.
Oh, you playing with
What's that?
Playing with your ding on?
1,000 what? I got $2,500 worth of the sheep last week. It's up $600 or something.
Playing with the thing now.
I think this is a done deal. I might even get to bed by 11.
I think this is a sell the news thing, John, when it's all over.
Well, we got a little. This is the type of pattern I like right here. So we got a couple pivots here. So we're starting to roll over. What do we got? We got 10:15. So we just passed the last some last stuff here. No, this is our chart here. Yeah, I stopped it though because
make sure you don't buy Bitcoin by accident.
yeah. Let me go back to the MES here. I think I was on this. So we got a little pullback now. Definitely breaking down under the 70, 80 area. That's turning over, a little pullback. This really, I think we have to figure out how far do we pull back before we go long again.
Or do you scale from here?
Start scaling in again?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How far do you think we'll pull back?
Well, we did pull back to look at earlier today when we called this. When we call this on a Voxer alert out there for you, those out there want call this top right here. Look at how far, look where it came down to. The VWAP. VWAP was a perfect pullback. It is always a perfect pullback. How do we not just pay attention to that? I was eating at that time or something. But I looked at my computer and I'm looking at this TV screen. We had the show on the TV screen, and we're sitting over at on the west end of the office, and I could see the VWAP. I said, shit, it came right down to the VWAP. And typically you want to buy the VWAP. What if you had bought that VWAP? 58.40 to 58.90. 50-point move off the VWAP. Not even a pullback.
200 EMA was right there too, John.
You are listening to
right
the
underneath
Trading
that.
Radio.
I mean,
sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Breaking news here. Bitcoin surges to 75,000. A new record as traders bet Trump has election edge.
I think Bitcoin's going to probably peel off some into the altcoins over the next few days. It looks like Trump is going to be in. I think the altcoins are going to get a big move. Most of them are down 80% from the all-time highs, and Bitcoin making new highs, and it's time for them to catch up. And I mean that's kind of my play. Just all the question is which ones do you want to grab? So we are in Shiba, we're in Doge. Some of the big ones like that. I bought some Cardano a few days ago.
Oh, there it goes again.
And
yeah. Oh, was that a divergence? There was a little divergence there. Kind of slight. I mean, it was kind of bounced off of that. Yeah, I would pass. I didn't take this, but anyway, again, the pullbacks probably need to be bought tonight, right?
Most likely. I mean, it's just that if the news switches, how far could it drop?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have some.
it can drop big, but it'll go right back. I mean, even if Kamala gets in, the market's going to continue to go higher because they're tax and spend. They go print more money. They print more money to buy more shit. spray out more free. You know, it's just inflation. Everything's going to keep going, getting worse. Trump, all he needs to do is just say, we're going to have a whole year, no taxes. Can you imagine what would happen with the economy? No taxes, or just tax, what do you call it, tax vacations or tax holiday or whatever you want to call it. Johnny, my camera's not on anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, I just was scratching my bells.
I want to make. Hold on a second. I'll be right there. Hold on. You can talk. I'm just hanging.
All right. So yeah, void twit. So I have some small long orders, like $10,000 order at 47K, actually 47,100, and then I have sell orders at 79, 77, 78, and 79. And if all three of those fill, I'll wind up with about 20% of my holdings will be in USDT. And if we get to 124, which is the target on Bitcoin, if you consider the gigantic cup and handle that took a year and a half to make, if you look at the way a cup and handle would be structured, and you look at a target, it would put us somewhere around 125, 124. This bull crap, what everybody's saying, oh, it's going to 300K, 400K, 500K. I've heard that all the time. Of course it will. It just won't do it when they say it's going to, and it's not going to do it this cycle. That's my opinion. I'm 55% thinking 80 is going to be at the top, and I'm still certainly it's probabilities. You know what I mean? There's no certainties with anything, but I'm right no matter what because I'm taking some profits. So my average on Bitcoin is probably somewhere around 22K. So I'm expecting. The question is, if you're a long-termer, the question is, do you think Bitcoin will go lower than where we're at right now eventually in the future? Absolutely. I think it will revisit 50. In the bottom of the bear market, probably revisit 40. So you'll have anybody who scales out now will have the opportunity. I feel the odds are we'll have the opportunity to get it at a much cheaper price in the future if you can hold off for that, and be patient. This is what I've done every cycle, and tried to sell the top and try to buy back in lower. If you buy back in lower, you're getting more coins. That's kind of the idea that I've been doing, and then of course trading altcoins to try to make Bitcoin profits. But yeah, less regulation on the crypto industry. Trump is super bullish about, as far as, it. I think RFK Jr. got in his head. They both spoke for an hour and a half at the Bitcoin conference. So it's bullish, Trump didn't lose in 2020, Loudy. You're crazy. You're the only one here that thinks he lost. And Tom 5 has got it. Mysterious vote showing up overnight.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign
and
up
Racer X
completely
here's
for
got a
free
chart.
with
He's
no
point
credit card.
81 point. You
try
probably have a
out
similar
all of our
line up at the
services
top
for
that I
10
do.
days at
Let me look.
dtr.tv/.
Oh, you've got an
free.
extension
Thanks
up there,
for
huh?
listening
Which
and
fib
have
is
a
that?
great day.
Is that an extension up there? So you guys watch my Bitcoin chart. It plays all day long on my channel. There's a trend line that goes back from 2021 in March, and then the eventual high in November. You take a trend line, put it up there on top of that, and you extend it. It pretty much touches our high that we were in March. If you're on the logarithmic chart, because the lines show up a little bit differently if you're not on the log chart. But the trend line touches the recent highs that we made in March of this year, which was right around 73, something like that. Remember, I took a bunch of profits up there above 72 and thought I was an idiot doing it. Everybody told me I was an idiot. I already know I'm an idiot. Didn't need nobody to tell me. I just had to make myself take profits. It's not easy. And I'm putting in an altcoin that they could just push a button and turn it off. So I'm sitting on almost $500,000 of the USDT. Being in Bitcoin would be a lot safer, but I'm betting this thing rolls over.
All right. Breaking news here. Watch for the market here to spike here. Day Trading Radio projects Donald J. Trump will win the 2024 presidential election. We've dissected and analyzed our deep data that has been sent up from our staff around the world in different demographic areas. Based on our knowledge and exiting polls, we want to be the first one to announce Donald J. Trump as president of the United States. October 5th, 10:24 p.m. Thank you.
Johnny, were you just saying that he's going to win, like based on you, or are you reading something from somebody else? I missed. Is that somebody else that you're reading from, John?
No, that was our official announcement here at Day Trading.
You're official. You're calling it.
I'm calling it. I'll be the first one to call it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, Bitcoin back to.
That should cause the market to explode here.
Bitcoin back to 73, which is the previous all-time high back on the Tuesday. Wait a minute, Tuesday.
The market has actually went ballistic on that announcement because everyone thinks it was real. The way I presented that, I prepared that earlier. It came across. You didn't even know who that was. Everyone started freaking out. Fake news. Fake news. No, I just put it out, and now look at this, brand new here. New York Times. New York Times just followed Day Trading Radio. New York Times just projecting Trump as the winner.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Let me see that.
Yes. They tried to beat me, but they couldn't. What time did that come out? Motherfucker.
Those betting sites are never wrong, John. Because people have to put real money
filled.
You know?
I waited too long. I was setting up I had to get this out.
I said start scaling.
I had to get this out.
Yeah, divergence and everything. You missed it.
And I don't front run the members. I don't take that position and then make a serious announcement like that. That would put me in jeopardy. I could lose the whole
You're still
station.
short?
No, I'm not. I'm long.
Oh, I'm looking at your screen. It looks like
no.
Long. You're long. You bought the highs, and now
I didn't want to be the front runner, so I always do this to help you guys out.
John, New York Times just said that.
Yeah, New York Times here coming out here saying
JB says his wife has got $31 million worth of cryptocurrencies.
My
JB,
wife.
awesome.
That's
Is she still your wife? Because that's wife changing material. Wife changing.
Husband changing material.
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep on getting. It says I don't have that. I'm not a member of New York Times.
JB, take some profits, man. And that would be. I mean, and listen, if it goes higher, so what? It'll be back down to 40K at the bottom of the bear market in 3 years, and you can get back in if you want. Just don't sell it at all.
What? Bezos. Yeah. I don't get New York Times.
No, Jack Bezos owns New York Times.
I don't think so. He used the Washington Post.
Washington Post, yeah. He owns Washington Post.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely
right,
for free
well,
with no credit card.
Can anybody
You
else give
can
me a
try
different link
out
on watching that?
all of our services for
The New York
10
Times
days at
is put it out, but I can't get to the New York
dtr.tv/free.
Times article.
Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Johnny, what's the chances of somebody like the Harris campaign actually conceding here soon before midnight or so tonight?
Never. No way. No way.
If she does that, though, that's pretty much seals the deal.
Oh,
they're not
yeah.
going to fight it and all that. You know what I mean? Even if something comes up.
Yeah.
YM tradeometer overbought.
Steve Voidtwit keeps asking to borrow Bitcoin from me so he could sell it on the market. I keep telling him no.
That's pretty cool. Race to the White House is underway.
Your Bitcoin Voidtwit is still in my wallet. My Ledger Nano SX from Ledger Nano S from 2017.
Log in. You want to just? I don't need it. I'm okay. I mean, I'm just going to read the article. Let me see. It says what it says. Email address. Thank you for create a free account to log in. I can do that.
Racer's saying Trump looks like he's going to win Iowa.
Check your email to finish up setting up your account.
What are you setting up, John? Just curious.
A New York Times account.
Oh, okay. This could be a blow-off top for everything, even if Trump wins. But I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. People are just going to have to buy the blood. Because fundamentally, it just makes sense for the markets to have the certainty of less regulation and foot off the neck of business. And
oh, look at that. Pull back. See, I did it for you guys. I did it. I called the top. Oh, I'm continuing. All right, let's see if I get. Continue without subscribing. All right, here we go.
We can still see it.
All right, I'm going to get rid of
Order
that.
submitted.
That was the stupidest trade I
Order
ever
filled.
did. Chasing that. I should have. What, I still can't see it?
You can see it, but scroll down.
hey, you think the rest of the week's bullish, Johnny, or do you think we get a pullback by the end of the week?
I think it's bullish.
Okay.
What's up?
Chance of victory 80%, leaning. So this is what they do. Let's take a look at this.
I think we go 66 on the S&P before June 6th of next year.
All right.
Write that down. I've been saying that for a year.
All right, hold on. Let me.
66.
Estimates now. Trump coming at 297 to Harris's 241.
And it's 270 needed?
Yeah.
To win. Okay. God, man, if he winds up winning like a landslide, I'm just wondering how much cheating they did last time.
Yeah.
I mean, half the votes were cheating. I don't know. I mean, or is it just people wanted to make sure that they weren't going to get screwed this time, so the Republicans came out and voted?
Well, I think the inflation was a big thing. Because I remember in the beginning of the year, I was even like, this is crazy. I've spent a lot of money at the grocery store. Every time I go to I would have 6-7 items. It'd be close to $70. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, I know. They dropped gasoline here in the last couple of weeks.
They did that here too. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, gasoline is cheap now.
Yep. I would pay $2.59. I was paying. It dropped a good 50-60 cents, in a matter of a couple of weeks. I filled up Dawn's car with gas over the weekend, and she was last. I said, "You see the price?" She goes, "Yep." I said, "You know why, right?" She goes, "Oh, election's coming." I'm like, "Yep." They try to sugarcoat things.
So Liza says, should I take profits in Bitcoin today?
Who asked?
Liza in the room. Lila, 24.
You know, it's everybody has different strategy. I mean, I've been holding since 2017, and I always try to sell as close to the top as I can and try to hold on to that cash and get dollar cost average back in when it drops. You know, we're going to have the bear market at some point. I'm going to be 20% cash if we get to 77, 78, 79. I've got orders there, and I've got orders to go long at 47. It might take 3 years for it to hit 47. I don't know.
You are listening today to
But
Trading Radio.
my strategy
Sign
is
up
I'm
completely
hoping for
free with no
125,
credit card.
124.
You can try out all
That's
of our
a
services
big
for
cup
10
and handle
days
measurement
at
from that cup and handle that took
GTR.tv/free.
3 years
Thanks
for
for
it to make.
listening and have a great day.
And I'm expecting for the breakout of that if it gets all the way up there at around 124. But I didn't need 33 Bitcoin when I had it, and I went tossing it around in Ethereum and lost about $85,000 worth of value on a stupid trade. And I've done enough screwing around. I just don't want to hold a lot of USDT, and that's what I'm holding right now. I'm holding like $500,000 of USDT. And listen, stable coins are controlled by central entities, USDC, USDT, both of them. They can hit the stop button on them things if they're ordered to do so at any minute. Even though I have it in my own wallet, if the coins are turned off and the network is off or whatever, there's no trading or transfer or whatever allowed because of the coin issuers. They can basically stop me from spending my money. So I'm terrified, and I'm thinking about switching USDC, getting about half and half. So my problem is, even if Bitcoin goes down, I've got counterparty risk with USDT Tether. I've got counterparty risk with USDC, and I'm not going to USD. So I'm not putting in a bank account or something like that because the Feds will lock that up in a heartbeat if they ever wanted to, or the banking industry collapses or whatever. I just probably should still be in Bitcoin. And in hindsight, I should have held it. Should be trying to sell it for 77, 78, 79, maybe 80. But I'm never selling more than
running slightly ahead of the percentages.
Well, I'm out. I already took out about 20%. I'm gonna probably take another 20% of what I'm holding off, like a total of 6 Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
But everybody has to come up with their own. Everybody's different. Mine's more of an investment trading strategy. It's a long-term thing. My end game is Bitcoin. When I'm done and ready to die, I'm rotating all my assets into Bitcoin. Hopefully at a bottom, and hand it all to my kids. But those are levels, and don't listen to the 500K and the 600K Kathy Woods crap and all that and everything. But your best bet would have been MicroStrategy, because it's up 1,900% and Bitcoin's only up like a double. So there's your leverage using something like MicroStrategy. And I would highly suggest not against the ETFs. I think they're a bunch of crap. MicroStrategy will outperform them like crazy too. That's just all I'm gonna say about that. You guys got to pick. Those are levels. But you got to pick your own percentages. And, if you're holding, if you don't want to get all out, you want to hold some, whatever.
Market here starting to sell off. So there you go, Liza.
I'm doing a show tomorrow night at 8 on my site, and so some of the things that I keep getting people ask me, when's the new tradeometer going to be done and stuff. Over the last few months, I've been working on stamping prices for the ES, the NQ, the YM, the CL, the Russell, the gold, stamping prices every second, plus all the oscillator indicators that are part of it their numeric number gets stamped in the database at the exact same time, along with the unique time stamp every second for 2 months, plus the the tick, which is I forget the ticker, but got that working, stamping prices. And then I have another one that's going to be the cryptometer. That one is hitting Coinbase API and stamping prices for the past couple of months. The first thing, I don't have a front end built yet, but I've got the back end calculations and everything seem to be working pretty well. I'm building an alert system that uses ntfy.sh, which is an app you put on your phone that's open source. It's widely accepted by Apple. It's widely accepted as a safe app by Android. I'm pushing alerts to that. I'm going to be pushing alerts to that with the tradeometer signals. And then you'll have a control panel inside my dashboard where you can pick which alerts you want. So you'll be able to pick like trade alerts and news is a category, and then another category. If you're a subscriber, you have access to tradeometer. You can pick tradeometer, and then you can pick all the subcategories for all the different tickers, and then those will come to your phone within a second or so when they fire off. I figured that would be the best thing to build first because it can benefit people of day trading radio that have always wanted some sort of alerts for tradeometer rather than having to watch it all day on the screen. So and this will keep me from having to build the front end right away. But you'll be able to get alerts right on your phone.
With no credit card.
I can also do a snapshot of the actual chart with the alert on it and actually include that in the notify alert. I figured out a way to do that. It took me about 2 weeks to program that, but I got that working. All that's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So we'll probably have some of that stuff working tomorrow for you to test. And each individual user that's on my system will have their own notifications channel that's private. I can send a direct message directly to somebody as a separate channel on Notify. So you guys, your alerts will come to you based on where your preferences are in the panel, in the control panel, which hopefully that'll work out. Plus, not only on your cell phone, but the Notify app has a web app. I'm going to embed that on my dashboard, so it'll look similar to Johnny's Trade Alert box. It won't be as pretty with the colors and stuff, but it'll function similar. But you guys are welcome to come by tomorrow.
Let's see what they got here. We got another update here.
What do you mean Biden by 32? So the Pennsylvania story matches that national story. But in Wisconsin, and I'll just wind it down here, Wisconsin and Michigan, it's much tighter. White college vote for Harris is about what it was for Biden. White non-college Trump is doing a little bit better in Wisconsin than he did in 2020.
He's got all
in
three
Michigan, Harris is doing a little bit better among white college voters, but in white non-college, Trump is up by 3. So in those two key states, the picture's a little bit more mixed than at the national level.
Hey, Cool C, what's up, buddy?
Back to you wherever you may be.
I know, John. I decided to stay over here with Major Garrett.
Sure. Well, who can blame you? Who can blame you?
No offense to any of you, but of course, I'm geeking out over here at the board, and I wanted to know about Michigan, Wisconsin, because we haven't yet got to dive into those numbers. So, Major, take it away.
So, again, Michigan, 23% of the vote in. We have a current lead for the vice president.
I'm talking over your broadcast, Johnny.
Where's the
I'm sorry.
outstanding vote? Well, okay. As we mentioned earlier, as Anthony went through this, Wayne County, Washtenaw, that's Ann Arbor, Oakland. Very large concentration of outstanding vote there. What is the overall needs for President Trump to prevail in Michigan? What is our current projection? 46%. Again, these are projections based on the vote that's come in so far, our estimation of what the overall turnout will be, and overlaying that with exit poll data.
46%,
So that's
and he needs 51.
That's what we can basically say about Michigan at this hour.
Okay, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
He doesn't even know where he is.
Go there now.
Oh.
We have 52% of the vote in. Where is that vote that we still need to see come in? Where is it concentrated? Milwaukee and Madison. Those are good, strong areas for the vice president. What is the general orientation? Vice President Harris, according to our estimates, needs 50% of the outstanding vote. We saw just a moment ago where it's concentrated, Madison and Milwaukee and the surrounding suburbs. According to our estimates, she's going to get 43% of that outstanding vote. That could be problematic in Wisconsin for some of the reasons that John mentioned on some of the exit poll data in that state.
Oh, wow.
Showing a difference.
So they
of
said
the
she needs 50
coalition
to get
and the
Wisconsin.
assemblage they're in.
So she may be in trouble in Wisconsin.
She may be in trouble in Wisconsin, exactly.
Wisconsin.
Based on our current estimates, yes.
And what about Door County?
Door County, let's bring that out. Door.
Interesting.
76% in.
So sometimes Door County has, well, I think Door County has always predicted the potential.
Door County has a near perfect record, and she is running slightly behind Joe Biden. Trump is currently in the lead there. We have it in a light shade of red.
Trump is in the lead in Door County.
Really interesting. All right. Thank you, Major,
everyone's
for
freaking
indulging
out.
me now to Maurice Dubois at our Path to Victory table. And Maurice, I know we're all looking about the importance of Pennsylvania.
We sure are, Nora.
Pennsylvania.
Thank you so
Here's an
much.
update
Let's
on
first take you
Pennsylvania.
through where we stand right now. We are at 201 for Donald Trump, 91 for Kamala Harris. But if we look at the beginning of the night, this is where we expected and will expect the votes to go throughout the evening. Red states for Trump, blue states for Kamala Harris. She started with 226. He started with 219. And
like
what we believe to be likely
But it
based on
comes down
past
to
experience in past voting. Okay, so let's
these
see
major
Pennsylvania,
if
how
she
it
loses
shakes out
any
when
of
it
these,
comes
then
to
it's
being
like an
pivotal
embarrassment.
for Donald Trump. If he were to flip Georgia,
he might flip
and
Georgia.
get the 16 votes there, electoral votes, and take North Carolina
He's gonna
and
flip
hold
that.
on to that, and then go to Pennsylvania and take the 19 electoral votes there. We talked about this earlier,
He's
but
gonna
that
win.
would bring him straight to 270, lights out. He's the next president of the United States.
He's
If
already
he
ahead in Georgia
cannot
and North
hold on to
Carolina.
Pennsylvania,
It's
he
getting
then has to
Trading
go
radio.
through the
Sign up
southern
completely
strategy,
for
the
free with no
Sun
credit
Belt,
card.
if you will.
You can
So
try out
that would
all
mean
of our services
flipping
for
Georgia,
10 days at
holding on to North Carolina,
dtr.tv/free.
taking Arizona,
Thanks for listening and have a
taking
great day.
Nevada as well. He's still not there. He's at 268. So he would have to take one of the upper Midwest, right? If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, he'd have to take Wisconsin or Michigan, and he gets right there to 278. Now, for Harris, Pennsylvania is huge. It's big. So if she were to take Pennsylvania and hold on to it,
looks like
Joe
Pennsylvania.
Biden won it by 82,000 votes last time. And to hang on to Michigan, this is the blue wall we talked about, and Wisconsin, we don't know where that's going to go. That would get her right to 270. So Pennsylvania pivotal, as it has been for so many
Pennsylvania
elections
is
in
going
the
to come
past.
down to
But again,
Pennsylvania.
we're at nail-biter status, 7 battleground states. We just don't know. This is where we stand right now, Nora.
Maurice Dubois, thank you so much. And when we come back, we'll have
scary how
new
close it
results
still
to
is.
report. CBS News, America Decides, election
It's
2024.
like they
We'll be
probably
back in a
put all the money into these. They know these. Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah.
People are gonna freak out.
Who's, huh?
I think people will freak out if
Yeah.
Harris wins at this point.
Yeah.
More like because they're expecting the other way right now.
Well, I would say if polls start to move again, to Harris, I would watch this market pulling back. I would say watch for a pullback. Let's see if that's going to happen. Because right now we're in a bullish little channel, pullback channel here. Just kind of waiting for a move higher.
I don't know. To me, it looks bullish.
Yeah, it looks very bullish here. But I'm sure it's going to move on the news. You know, definitely the market's moving on Trump being ahead. Hmm?
What if you stopped out right below that wick below 2 candles back?
Oh, you mean get in now and
Just get in there and just like leave it stop there. What is that? Where's that risk? Just curious.
Couple
points.
Yeah, it's probably not that much. It's 70-42, 8 points.
8 points.
Yeah.
It's a healthy stop.
Yeah, it is.
This could go. This could take off 30 points.
I think it's going to come down to if it changes, everything's going to change. Like if Trump starts to take a lead in Pennsylvania, I think the market's going to pop. If they come in like Kamala's starting to take the lead, maybe something like that, it's going to drop.
But it's set up. Set up for a pop, no?
It looks set up to go up. Yeah. Anybody taking this? Anybody interested? I would tax saying get in here with a stop underneath that candle. All right, let's get in on a quad rotation on a night like this. We got close to a quad rotation back here, very close to it. Well, actually, it was one. It hit that 20 line here. It was right here. It was right here, and it was right here. So, and that was the low right there. I mean, perfect, right? The perfect quad rotation. Almost. That low right there. It's just perfect. That was the last decent pullback. I mean, now we're in the midst of another pullback. What if we go down and we kind of crescendo or kind of finish our move down and we just get oversold here? I would like to take that.
Yeah, that's a better setup.
I would like to take that long.
I'm just not sure. I think it's too strong. I mean, if you do get it, it'd be quick, I think.
Yeah, I would watch for that fast flush, and I think it could come out on a
news thing.
A news thing. Maybe there's a fake news. Maybe this is the perfect place to drop a fake news thing. Why not? I'm gonna pull my. I'm gonna resend my projections. All right, here we go. Let's see what the latest update is here.
Results to share.
New results.
Just in from the CBS News data desk, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the state of Kansas. In Ohio, CBS News projects the former president will win there as well.
Okay.
And so here's where we stand in the race to 270. Donald Trump, 207. Kamala Harris, 91. And we should note, as it is almost 11 o'clock in the East, that of those 7 battleground states that will decide who wins the presidency, they are still in toss-up at this hour. That is how close this contest is tonight. But we are getting some clues as more and more of the vote tally comes in. I want to bring in Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. She was elected Secretary of State and oversaw the Michigan's 2020 and 2022 general elections, both of which drew record-breaking turnout. Secretary Benson,
see what we got coming in. We're sliding right into a quad rotation.
Thanks for having me. Happy election night.
Happy election night.
Yeah,
I know Michigan looked like it was on track to break records. Where do you stand tonight?
We're still on track. We're waiting to see what we've also done really that I'm really proud of is more efficiently tabulate the absentee ballots than even we had anticipated. So we're on track.
Oh, they're anticipating big absentee ballots. Oh my God, this is
statewide, and from there,
I don't like the
results
sound of
will
that.
become known. I will caution we have 6,000 outstanding ballots for military.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Voters, those may come in the days ahead, but beyond that, the rest of our
they're already starting to push that. Oh, we have a lot of ballots that are just
on the way to being reported.
Absentee. It's going to probably be in about 3 o'clock in the night. We're going to get those ballots in.
Valid vote.
With the two of them.
And Secretary, I know you said earlier tonight that you expect the vote to be tallied by midnight. Is that still true?
That's my hope. There is some time between when the ballots are tabulated to when they get securely
I can hear the quiver in her vote
publicly, and so there's still that gap that we're assessing. But certainly, I anticipate before the morning we'll know the results of the bulk of Michigan races.
Thousands of
course, again, the closer ones that may take some more time to assess. There may be recounts and all the like, but I'm hopeful, and we're certainly seeing the tabulation process go smoothly, and I'm hopeful we'll have those unofficial results ready to be reported in the next few hours.
No. And Secretary, Donald Trump tweeted earlier this evening that there was heavy police presence in Philadelphia and Detroit. Is there any truth to that?
No, there isn't, neither in Detroit or in Philadelphia. To the extent that there is a law enforcement present anywhere in our city, it's to really ensure our election officials are protected. But people have been respectful. People have been observing the process, but not disrupting the process. It's really been a sea change from 2020, and I'm grateful to see
close to that
such a peaceful, secure process here in Detroit and across Michigan.
And Secretary Margaret Brennan is here as well. Margaret.
Good to talk to you again, Madam Secretary. There were a number of incidents today with bomb threats in your state. What can you tell us about what the impact was, practically speaking, on just administering this election?
Into that weakness, but I think we go a little. I think we're going to get a quad on this.
Yeah, we know there were 4 bomb threats made to precincts and 1 to an office building.
It could be a perfect quad.
In Lansing. All of those were investigated and debunked and essentially treated like swatting attempts. No one was really significantly disrupted. No voter was stopped from voting, and things continued apace and continued smoothly, in part due to the fact that our partnerships with law enforcement enabled a quick investigation, a quick response, and we quickly were able to source it to Russian interference.
Could be a double-bottom divergence here, too.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, thank you
I want to do
so
an
much for
update
your
on the
time
Voxer
tonight.
here.
Good luck with the count.
Thanks, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we want to head back to Major Garrett and Anthony Salvanta at the CBS News data desk with some new insight into the Pennsylvania turnout. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, good evening, Nora. So I want to take you down to the local level. You wanted granular data? This is the city of Philadelphia. These are precincts in the city of Philadelphia. We've talked all night about how important turnout is here, but also vote shifts. We're looking at some analysis that my colleagues Corey and Kabir have been running on those precincts, and I can tell you that we're seeing a vote shift at about -2 overall from Democrats 2020 to now. And you can see it coming in live, populating here. But the really key thing here, Nora, is in neighborhoods that are Latino, Hispanic neighborhoods, including up in here in the northern part in Fair Hill, as we get up here away from the center city, we are seeing perhaps a 6 to 8 point swing from 2020 away from the Democrats. I know a lot of folks talked about that might go the other way after maybe Donald Trump's comments or other comments that they'd heard, but no, in fact, that is going back towards Donald Trump right now. So all in all, the other thing that's really important here is it looks like turnout is also tracking to be a little lower. So between that little bit of a vote shift, between the Hispanic vote shift that we're seeing so far and the fact that it's tracking a little bit lower on turnout, right? Might even come in at under 700,000, at least right now. None of that bodes well for Kamala Harris. And that's your local level dive into Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, that's
a
a good idea.
Salvanto,
so I just sent out the Voxer alert here. This is pretty good.
I was going to say it.
So this is the Voxer alert that I sent out, but it's probably worth listening to what I'm talking about.
All right, traders, coming up at 11 o'clock, we're going to have another poll update, and the market might move again aggressively. Just want to let you know we're approaching a quad rotation. Last quad rotation was at 850, and it was a 50-point move, 40-point move. Really, only the last really significant pullback in the market. We're approaching that right now. It's not quite there. We're at 58.76. It might happen around 58.70. Our VWAP is at 58.59, but I do think we're going to get it a little bit lower here. So it might be worth, if anybody's going to trade this, to watch for the quad rotation. The quad rotation is almost setting up. Our 60-10 stochastics at 26. We want to get that under 20. And pretty much you want to get all of them lined up under 20 and then buy that weakness and see where we go with it.
All right. Can we should we now we're right there. We're so there. We're so there in the quad.
What's the 5 minute look like?
Let's take a look. See how the 5 at 22. So if we look at the 5 minute, I'm going to bring this one over to show us the 5 minute on this one because it's just cleaner. I think it's a cleaner chart. So let me bring this over and show you the 5 minute on here. So here's the 5 minute, right on the 20 period moving average. Just about oversold on the 9.3. See what the number is? It's right around there, 27, 20, 18 to 25. We're right about there. What was this? Where was? Oh, that was over there. All right. So again, I think we could probably go a little bit lower, but not. I think we're close. We're close. It's probably worth. We're not going to thread the needle here. I think you got to ride this bumpy ride here.
Yeah, you gotta give it some room.
Gotta give it a little room here.
Scale too.
Yeah, I think you can scale on this. I mean, if we come down with a little divergence.
Yeah, if it pulls in a little bit and works out divergence, you can scale in this.
And you could take a gamble on who's going to win the president because I'm sure we could probably pop to the highs before the night is over. If there's any.
I'd be surprised if you don't.
Yeah.
I would be surprised.
Dak says he'd be surprised if we don't. Is there on here?
Like you said, unless it's a news event, that just totally changes the game. I wouldn't leave it like out there blind. I would definitely have some protection.
Check this out. This is the Kashi, I believe. Kalshi. So projecting Donald Trump 91% to win. A lot of people going in for that. Look at all that money flowing to there, or at least whatever it is. I don't even see the money flow. But.
Well, all the news stations are painting that picture. They're saying, they keep saying, oh, a lot of votes haven't been counted, but I don't think that's really the thing anymore.
It sounds like I'm listening to CNBC or something. Hey JB, thanks for tuning in tonight. YMCA. YMCA. Oh, why did they put that on?
Can you enlarge that a little bit? Like
the
actual charts, you see the candles a little.
This one?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Just scroll it out. Yeah, that's good. That's too much. Back it out. That's good.
All right.
Back the other way. Just one notch. Perfect.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can
20
try
and
out
50.
all of our
We're on the
services
20.
for 10 days at
Trying to pop through that. We did get-
dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
I mean, it just seems to me like it's just about to go again.
Yeah, I mean, we're flagging out. It's just a flag.
It's just strong.
It's very strong, and again, it's running on the pops here on the election. It's totally a different type of trade. I mean, it's not many divergences shutting up here. We had a divergence here. Nice pop, right there. I think there was
short divergence was the best divergence.
Yeah, the short divergence was great.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right down to the VWAP.
Yeah, see that's the only real trade I saw from your strategy. That double bottom one's really hard to see.
Well, you know, if you look at that quad rotation, man, that was perfect. And look at this quad rotation here. You know, we called it right here.
Yeah, we probably get a big move here, higher.
We called it, you know, just about here. So we already put the line in there, and now we're profiting from it. I knew Loudy was drunk, or unless he's saying that, but he did seem a little intoxicated.
Nice.
Nice.
Shrunk my chart again. I can't see.
Oh, I did? Oh, sorry.
Just make it decent.
Yeah, I am trying to.
That's good.
I should have took more. I should have scaled in more on the bottom.
It's okay.
Market here just moving right back up.
Getting overbought pretty quick though.
Do you notice this station? You notice this? Everything on the station is.
I don't know. Is this getting overbought too quickly?
No, this is just you know yeah, I think it's good. I mean, this was what we were looking for, a big move back up here.
So the lower stochastic.
That 60 period, right when it touched that 20, we started turning back up. That represents the 5-minute time frame being oversold. We looked at the 5-minute.
What's your exit signal on this setup? If you were to hold it to fruition and like really let it go.
Oh, you know, maybe let this rotate all the way back up to 80.
So that's a long time.
Yeah, I would get out right here. This would be.
I would get out right here too, just because it's like I feel like it's getting a little bit weird.
Yeah, because you just got overbought here.
Fast too. I don't think it gave big enough.
And it didn't give a big move, but again, this is kind of a. Do you think the market's going higher? Maybe we let this play out a bit overnight. Not overnight, but into the
it
election.
just got overbought quicker without enough of a move.
Yeah.
So I probably would take it off, just because I don't know. I would have thought it would have ran a little more. I gotta see the 5-minute though. 5 minutes fine.
All right. Where is this? Wait.
CBS News, America Decides. Election 2024. Now reporting, Nora O'Donnell.
Welcome back to CBS News Election Night headquarters here in New York. And we're coming on the air with some breaking news in Georgia. CBS News now rates the presidential race there as lean Trump. This is the first
Georgia,
of the 7
Trump.
battleground states that we are rating as lean one way or the other. And at this hour, we rate it as lean Republican. We'll be checking in on the battleground states throughout the night, but we also want to give you results from western states where polls just closed in California, Vice President Harris's home state. CBS News projects that she will win there. In Idaho, CBS News projects Trump will win, and over 5 decades, Idaho has supported a Republican for the presidency. And here is where we stand right now in the race to 270, shows Donald Trump with 211 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with 145, a number of states still to be called. I want to go now to Major Garrett and Anthony Salvanto at the data desk. And so why is Georgia now lean Republican?
We will explain that to Nora
I
and
don't
the team
understand,
here
like,
in a
why
moment.
some of these
Anthony, walk us through how we
take so
got to
long
this lean
to get,
Trump
like, some of this
designation.
is it gets done, and the other ones are like, the ones that count are like, oh, you know, it's like 7 that counted, 7 of the last ones.
Thanks for listening and have
What
a
I'm going
great
to
day.
do is show you our
Maybe they are
models
dragging.
here
Maybe
that incorporate what
for
we
news
expect
coverage.
out of that vote. And so when you do that, you see that Donald Trump's current lead holds up in that model. Now, the other way to show you this, though,
This
and
is
why it's
Georgia.
a lean, but not a projection.
Look at all the red,
is if
and
I
look at the
show
little
you that
blues.
in terms of the range of possibilities here, and what you see is that Trump's range around that
was
estimate
9.3 was
is
a
in
good
this
overbought
red
level.
bar, and Harris's range around that estimate is in this blue bar. There is still some overlap here, so we can't be certain, but our best estimate right now is that Donald Trump does have that lead, and therefore we made it lean. And Major, maybe you can talk a little bit about where that outstanding vote is.
Right, because many of our viewers will see that there is outstanding vote, but what I want to do is take you inside those bubbles and show you the numbers. And the numbers tell a story about a declining amount of vote.
Yeah, while people are like, you know, getting
38,000 remaining.
Work tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is.
54,000 remaining in Fulton
That's not that bad.
29,000 remaining in Henry County. So these numbers suggest that there would have to be a tremendous push for the vice president in those places where
I don't know. I
still
just think
outstanding
it's
and
going
they're
to be a
Democratic.
landslide
And
still.
also,
I think that she's going to win. She's going to lose something
and our
that she's
projection
expected
on
to win.
Where
Pennsylvania
the vice president is in terms of the need.
She needs 62%, we believe.
I
right?
think so.
And right now she's on track
Georgia.
to get 58%. Now,
I
there's
think Arizona.
some estimate, or there's a range around these estimates, right? So you say, well, that is trailing what she needs, hence the lean.
This
but
is
it's not
Charles
trailing by
Schwab.
so much that we can project the race just yet. But we do want to give you,
It's
like
my
I
Schwab
said, the whole sense of the race, and that is lean Trump.
All right.
Medved.
We do the same
That's
thing
Medved,
in Wisconsin because all of
Medved
us here,
tracker.
when I came
The old
back
quote tracker.
from the data desk with Major,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was also surprised about what we saw in Wisconsin. That would
Yes, they're
dramatically
charging.
change the path
Good, I
to
like 'em.
victory. So can we go through that margin in
Yeah,
Wisconsin?
easy.
Sure.
Yeah, I
less
could.
relative vote in there, right? We're at 60,
I think a lot
we're
of
at
people like this. They're so
60%.
used to it
So
for
the
10 years
needs
or
yet
20
doesn't
years.
quite come into
I've always
play
used
as
it,
much.
so people are
But
just
we are
like,
going to be looking at
I
places
think it's
like
clean.
Milwaukee,
I
and
don't
if
know.
I look at that and then I show you the history
Sometimes
there,
it gets busy
you
with
see
a lot of little
this
squiggly
tells
lines.
very much the story. So
I know.
far,
I know. The
Harris
moving
is
averages.
trailing Joe Biden's numbers. They're in Milwaukee, and that doesn't necessarily
Only one
tell a strong story
I'm
for us.
watching
Just a
like a
little
flag or
bit
something.
behind Joe Biden's numbers in critical Dane County. This is a place where Democrats traditionally really run up a lot of votes. Now, again, this is not all in, but that tracking number plus just slightly lower turnout, perhaps, that's not enough of a margin.
And let's walk through the needs and our projections currently.
You got it. Okay, so there's your needs, right?
Weird now.
Needs
What's going
51%
on?
of the estimate. That's not that hard to do, okay? So the trouble is, given what I just showed you in those key Democratic counties, right now she's tracking it, getting 44% of the outstanding votes. So again, still a lot of vote to come, still some uncertainty here, but right now not immediately on track.
And because we only have 61% of the vote in statewide, that's why we have not made a designation in this race. It is still a toss-up based on our estimates, but these are the trend lines at this
So
hour.
she needs 51%. She only got 40. She's projected to get 44. That's not good.
We're going to dive into the exit poll numbers in Wisconsin.
That's not good at all.
Are you ready?
She's going to lose one of that. She's lose Wisconsin.
Because we'll know what's going on in Wisconsin.
Tiny little dash into Wisconsin, just two little pieces. One, let's look at the union household vote in Wisconsin. Kamala Harris is up 50 to 49. It's basically 50-50 actually in what you're about to see on your screen. So it's even flat among union households in Wisconsin. Biden won that group by 19 in 2020. So that's
this is the working class vote.
This is the working class vote. This is the connections long-standing to Joe Biden's advocacy for the unions that helped him in 2020. But here in Wisconsin, if Wisconsin is not going well for the vice president, that could be one reason why. Now, one reason it could be going well, just to remind from something we talked about earlier, that she is winning with seniors by 17 points. Biden only won with seniors by 6 points. So as we watch where each coalition is built, Kamala Harris is not doing well with union voters in Wisconsin, but she's doing better with senior voters.
Hey, come on, Ultron. We don't like to
Joe
talk that
Biden
way
did
in
in
this
20
room.
I think this is a good time to go over to the path to victory, and I know that Ed O'Keefe is there with Maurice Dubois. So let's play that scenario out, because if Georgia
You're
goes
listening
red
to Day Trading Radio.
and
Sign up
Wisconsin
completely for
goes
free
red,
with no credit
does
card.
Kamala
You can
Harris have a
try
path
out
to
all
victory,
of
and
our
what does it
services for
include?
10 days at
narrow?
So Nora, I want to show you something. This is the briefing book that we all got, right?
And have a great
And
day.
right in the beginning of it, there are 21 different ways that Democrats can get to 270 plus, okay? 21 different options for our political unit. If you go through now and cross out all the Georgia and Wisconsin options, she's down to very few. So this is where we are right now, right?
Yes, we are. We have.
I want to point out that Margaret Brennan has already done that over here.
Yeah. So we're going to... Hey, at least the guys are asking for directions and using the map, right? So let's use the map.
Is up.
All right.
But Donald Trump ahead at the moment, 211 to 145. So let's go to our hypothetical map and see these paths to victory, right?
So let's make...
if Georgia does go red.
And make Wisconsin red.
Wisconsin goes red as well.
So now here's how she could get to 270. She would get Pennsylvania.
Gotta hold on to Pennsylvania.
She'd have to get North Carolina.
Gotta flip that.
And give her Arizona.
Gotta take Arizona as well.
That's one way she can do it. The other way, if I'm looking at this correctly, North Carolina, we're going to make that red. North Carolina,
that narrows things.
Michigan,
and
Arizona, and Nevada.
Right.
There aren't many options at this point.
Right.
Okay. The other one would be Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona. We did Pennsylvania, North Carolina.
What time is it? 11:09.
That's 270, right?
Okay.
I'm long right now. It's just one contract.
And that gets us. That gets rid of
287.
Gets the map.
But I took a
gets
long.
the entire
I took
country
it. We
287,
called this quad
251.
rotation. I wanted to take it, but I did not. And then I was
ways it
doing
can happen
something,
if
and I
Wisconsin
said,
and
"All right, I'll
Georgia
just go here."
aren't happening.
It wasn't a
You
good
made it
trade
very
at all.
clear. Let me bring in
So I
Robert
took it right
Kosky,
at the
who has
top
new
of the
reporting
quad
real quick.
rotation.
Thank you.
This was our quad right here.
Interesting to imagine all
I
the
waited.
different
I
scenarios.
said, you
I've
know
been
what? I
talking with
think we're
my
going to get
top
back up to the
Democratic
highs on the
close to
announcement that
Harris
Trump
campaign.
wins.
They
So I
say
want to
Jen
hold
O'Malley
this and see
Dillon,
what
who's
happens.
running the Harris campaign, now believes the blue wall is the path to victory. She sent out a memo stating that, and that's going around the top Democrats in Congress.
So they now conceded everything except the blue wall.
Recent minutes have told CBS
The
News
blue wall is
that
the
they
top
believe
states
the
up
blue
there.
wall is the way she gets
That's
to the White House.
Michigan,
She must win. They
Wisconsin.
believe those three states I just spoke to a source close to Speaker Pelosi.
Who else?
When I sat down with President Biden in August, he only name-checked one Democrat, Speaker Pelosi, the former speaker, for
I don't know.
nudging him out of the race.
Pennsylvania, is it?
A source close to her says she's watching everything. She's, quote, still optimistic. Still optimistic. Perhaps one of the most powerful Democrats. That's her phrase, based on a source close to her watching the returns.
But Bob, it's interesting. They say she must win, but do they think she can win? There's such a big difference there. You expect people to be optimistic at this point, but
it comes down to the turnout, Gail. It's cities and labor. Cities, labor, and they got to eat into the Republican vote in the suburbs. They're still optimistic, from Pelosi to others, that she can do it.
The voting's done. It's not like what are they going to do? Push their they're still looking for
a lot
votes.
of Democrats, to be clear, on edge right now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can see with the data and our reporting.
Oh boy.
But it's strategists with
They're
close
starting
contacts
to
that know
give
about
in
the
here.
ground game, like
I think
CBS
they're
News
just like
political contributor
they don't have any
Joe
other
Payne
path
and
except
political
the
contributor
wall, the
Leslie Sanchez. I
northern
wanna bring
wall.
you into that conversation. Joel, what are you hearing within Democratic Party ranks at this hour?
I'm hearing similar to the reporting that was just shared. Look, that path to 270 is narrow. I thought it was narrow coming in to the evening. I've said that Harris was a low ceiling, high floor candidate coming into this race. I think that
feels
like Jen O'Malley Dillon's memo is correct, that it seems like the blue wall is the path. And I will say this, I think Democrats are kind of coming to grips with the stubborn reality that some of the bets that were made in this cycle may just not pay off. That doesn't mean Kamala Harris will lose, but it does mean that some of the bets maybe around abortion and some of the bets around Donald Trump maybe receding in public
So let's take a look at the chart here.
Did not come
so the blue wall, this is the blue wall right up here.
Despite all of that,
I think it's Pennsylvania, Michigan,
many Democrats
and Wisconsin, right?
Felt maybe
or maybe even
to looking at the
Minnesota.
map right
I'm not
now,
sure
the
if
same
Minnesota
way that
is
they felt
part of it.
4 years ago, the same way they feel now.
But that still doesn't even look because
but I think Ed's point is right. I think there are narrow paths to victory, and I think Democrats are bearing down for what could be an extended process here when you get past those blue wall states, looking at Nevada, seeing what happens with those votes.
Well, I think he's going to, I think he's going to win Georgia.
A really key issue. And you even look at that Reid machine in Nevada that many Democrats rely upon to deliver key votes in that culinary workers union. Those will be the places where Democrats will look for
it's closing. The closing price. But it's kind of like this.
I look at the map and the path
That's a little
if she cannot win in Wisconsin, have a great day. In other words, if there's a piercing of that blue wall, she would have to win Arizona.
Right.
And so that's really what it would come down to at this point. Nevada's still too small at 6 EVs.
Yeah.
She'd need Arizona, and I have to go back to the magic wall or the data desk and figure out what's happening in Arizona, because I don't have a good sense yet about what's happening in Arizona. Major and Anthony, we'll go to them in just a second. But let me touch base with CBS News political analyst Leslie Sanchez, because she is with us. And Leslie, I know you've been with us for most of this conversation. We heard Cecilia's reporting and more about the Hispanic vote. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing that the Democrats are cratering their support among Latino voters, and it's across the board. It starts support, in Texas. You look at the Rio Grande Valley, you're seeing stronger support leaning toward Trump along those border counties than he did, performing better than he did in 2020. And I expect that to move into the Sun Belt, into Nevada, where you have the culinary unions, into Arizona, where you have a lot of working class, middle class Latino
the price
voters.
is moving,
I expect that
average
to
is in gray
tip toward
here.
Trump as well, because of this growing middle class. They are second, third generation Latino dominated. Ed O'Keefe talked about the growth of Latino men on the Republican side, and they are tilting over toward Trump. And because of the economy, because of high inflation, and some of them do talk about border security, but that
was a quad rotation
number and feeling
basically
that
right here
is really really what's
Never took out
driving
the
that
lows.
all the way across. You could even argue it in Florida along that I-4 corridor, the Puerto Rican vote. You saw them come eventually align under Trump. They were not affected by those, kind of those Madison Square Garden components. And I think expect that in the suburbs of Philadelphia. My reporting says they are coming out for Trump as well.
Leslie Sanchez, thank you. And we have a race alert at this hour. CBS News rates North Carolina as lean Republican. And so while the vote count is still coming in, our CBS News models indicate this race leans Republican for Donald Trump. Remember, this was the one of the 7 battlegrounds that he won
I told you that's wrong. Those numbers over there are wrong.
And is performing well in the rural areas of North Carolina.
So
you could argue North Carolina was a must-win for Donald Trump tonight. And we rate it as lean Republican
I gotta take those numbers
this
off
hour while it is still early in the night. Let's go now to Major Garrett to explain why.
So lean Trump for North Carolina. How did that happen? We should remind ourselves 5 visits by the former president to North Carolina in the closing week of this campaign, underscoring its importance as the Trump team looked at the electoral map of the country. So here we have 86% of the vote in. This is the actual vote as it has been tabulated. Here is our estimate of where this will land when all the votes are counted. 51.7 for Trump, 48.3 for the vice president. Where's the outstanding vote? We still see some outstanding vote there. But again, the numbers keep getting smaller and smaller. Mecklenburg, yes, there's vote out there, but it's simply not manifesting itself in the way that the vice president needs if she's going to prevail in North Carolina.
59% she needs.
Suggest she needs 59% of that outstanding vote.
She's not going to be close to that.
And
48.
We project, when it's all said and done, and Nora, you joined me over here. Great to have you back at the wall. 48%. So that's a big gap. 59% she needs. 48% is our current estimate based on outstanding vote, historical
North Carolina
and exit poll data.
It's done.
So you heard Robert Costa's reporting that Jen O'Malley Dillon has now sent out a memo. She's the campaign manager for Vice President Harris and says they still believe that the blue wall is the ultimate way to win. It's close in Pennsylvania. It may take a couple days to get the vote.
Oh, here it goes.
Michigan.
It might take a couple of days to get the blue wall vote.
Wisconsin did not.
Like all of a sudden, the blue wall is different from every other
We
state.
were talking, and I heard you on the other room, because you guys are on the other side of the wall, about Arizona. So let's go to Arizona.
Everyone else
This
gets their great
if
projections.
Wisconsin is 11 electoral votes. If she loses that, she has to win Arizona. So what is happening in Arizona?
So here we have 51% of the vote in. That's where the total is currently. This is our estimate. We have it at 50.3 to 49.7. How does that compare to 2020? We remember how close it was. That's overperformance of Joe Biden. Things presently look good in Arizona. And
for the Democrats.
For Kamala Harris. Here's where the outstanding vote is. Maricopa County. Let's be specific. How much vote is still outstanding? Maricopa County. More than 1 million votes. Maricopa County in 2020 accounted for 61% of the statewide turnout.
Radio.
Let's go down to
Sign up
Tucson,
Pima
County.
No
How much is outstanding?
You can try out all of our
273,000.
services
So
for 10
let's go
days
back to
at
that basic question.
dtr.tv/free.
What does Kamala Harris
for
need
listening and
in
have
Arizona
a great day.
to prevail? 50%. What do we have a current estimate of her projected ability to retain or achieve from the outstanding vote? 51%, on the razor's edge.
So Margaret Brennan and John Dickerson we should look at, because Arizona is one of the 2 battleground states that has an abortion initiative or something to expand reproductive rights. So I'm curious how that affected the vote. And of course, oh, well, excuse me. I'm asking the wrong person. Major Garrett has it right here. Oh.
I have an answer for you, Nora.
Yeah.
So we see this 63%. We also see Trump well ahead of Kerry Lake running for the Senate. So there are in Arizona, and this was a big question. Would there be Trump, Ruben Gallego votes in Arizona? Actually, in fact, there were. But was there a transference on the question of abortion and linkage with Vice President Harris? This data indicates not nearly as much as the Democrats.
Well, I'm wondering if she's riding, if the vice president is riding the coattails of Gallego and the abortion initiative.
She very well might.
Don't fall asleep here.
But not nearly as strong. There's not that connection that many people thought there might be.
All right, so let's go back to the path to victory on that front now that both Georgia and North Carolina
so Doc's taking off.
are in the
Doc's
lean
taking off. He has to do work tomorrow.
Maurice Dubois.
Always taking off. I'm here with you guys in the trenches.
Thank you so much.
See
Once
you
again,
later, buddy.
this is the
Thanks for hanging out.
map, right? 211 to 145, with many votes still to be counted. But let's take you back to the likely expectation. Mostly red, Donald Trump, blue for Kamala Harris. And if those states we just mentioned go red, what does that do? That brings Donald Trump within 9 votes.
9. So all he needs is Arizona or Michigan or Pennsylvania eventually. It might take a few days in both of these. That same Jen O'Malley-Dillon memo, by the way, says that we're not going to get final vote until about 3 to 5 a.m. local time in Wisconsin. So stick with us.
So then for Kamala Harris, what does that look like?
Okay, so she's at 226.
Got to take Pennsylvania.
Let's say she squeaks by there. Let's say she squeaks by in Michigan. Now she needs 10 more.
Arizona.
Let's make that red right now. See?
Okay.
This is the problem for her.
This is a major. All right.
Okay.
Nevada?
Turn it blue.
Center blue. Okay. She holds.
So
Nevada
I'm here with you.
But he wins.
Now we
Okay. Now
we get to concentrate together.
With that one, she wins.
That shows you exactly.
This is why we're going to be here a few days potentially, because if we're going to get in all these tight margins, we're going to have to be waiting for every single last vote. That's the way it could conceivably happen.
If you haven't bitten your nails yet,
start biting.
They're going to be bitten. All right, that's where we stand. Those are the past, Nora.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just walking back over.
Yeah. I think
yeah, I know, Margaret, you heard me. I had a question for you about the abortion initiative. Yeah.
I did hear you very well on Arizona. Abortion's already legal there, but this was amending their constitution. But I think that's so fascinating to see. Perhaps it's that split ticket, or as you said, it just didn't boost the vice president. I was just looking at my path to victory.
Wow.
There's some other very narrow ones, some pretty.
I want to tell you, if one of the polls come in and it has Kamala kind of finding a way to get this, market's going to drop 50 points fast. So be ready on the trigger here.
He is at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach. Hi there, Tony.
It could drop at any moment if we do get some updates.
Good evening, Nora. While you all are characterizing the race there, I'll characterize the room in just 30 seconds. We've got 10:53. Time of dancing has begun here at Trump headquarters. YMCA came over with the loudspeaker, and Trump seemed to be pulling ahead in Pennsylvania. Loud cheers in the room. Our colleague Olivia Rinaldi says they're now looking at the exit polls in Trump world, quote, gleefully. That's the word from Trump world. And the young staffers, junior staffers, according to Jake Rosen, another one of our colleagues, they are now looking for apartments in Washington, D.C. and talking openly about what jobs they want in the new administration. So they are measuring the drapes, so to speak.
Oh, my God. Don't be doing that.
Supporters in the room. How are you feeling in one word? I heard fantastic, I heard relieved, and I heard vindicated, Nora.
Wow. Right, Tony DeCopel, thank you. Now let's check in with Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. She is at the Harris headquarters at Howard University in Washington, D.C. And Nancy, we knew this would not be an early night, given how close the polls have been, and it looks like it is going to be a very late night or may stretch for several days to get in that Pennsylvania vote and more. What are you hearing? I know that the Harris campaign manager just put out a new memo.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio.
Right. She did put out a
Sign
memo
up
saying
completely
that
for
she
free
feels
with no
good
credit card. You can
what
try
she
out
is
all of our
seeing
services for
in the
10
blue
days
wall,
at
but I can tell you that Democrats outside the campaign
DTNR.tv/free.
don't
Thanks for
feel
listening
particularly
and
good
have
about
a
what
great
they're
day.
seeing in Wisconsin in particular, and they're surprised to be worrying this much about Wisconsin. This is not the state of the three in the blue wall that they were most concerned about going into the night, partly because Democrats just won
Don't
a
miss
big
your taxi,
statewide
though.
election in Wisconsin last
He
year,
will
a
leave you.
special election for the state Supreme Court. Janet Protasewicz, the new justice there,
What'd you say? Oh.
repeat this time around. Instead, it's this nail biter, and Jen O'Malley Dillon sending out this memo basically telling the entire Democratic stratosphere that there's a lot of vote outstanding in Milwaukee, that it may not come in until 3 to 5 in the morning, but the fact remains that there is not a single state right now, not a single battleground state, and maybe they're just being cautious. There is not a single state that they are expressing confidence right now that they are going to win. They just keep reassuring their supporters that they still have a chance. And this is not the position that many of their supporters thought they'd be in at this point in the night.
You leaving, Dolly?
All right, Nancy
I'll see you
Cordes,
tomorrow.
thank you very much. And when we come back, a big
We'll get
update
your
in the
info and
Senate.
then.
CBS News America
All right.
Decides election 2024 coverage returns in a
Huh?
moment.
I'm staying till 3 o'clock. Yeah. Good night. Lock the door out there so I don't Kamala people come into my office tonight. Kill me.
If you know luxury, it's
All
not
right.
just
Well, let's hear. Now I'm alone.
it's rewarding. Sadva mattresses supports all.
Let's go here. So, good morning, everyone. Oh, good evening. It's 11:25. I think we just kind of slowly grind back up. Slowly grind back up. This would be a good spot. Let me tell you. This is not a bad spot to take a hedge short here. If Kamala comes, I want to do that. You know what we do? I think I have a Bolonox account I picked up today on a 90% coupon. Let me see. And we're going to take a short here. We're going to take a short into the close as a hedge here. All right. Now, we could drop 50 points real fast. If just there's something, it almost seems like the script is written, right? The script is written. All of a sudden, you're going to get popcorn, boop, 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 and the thing is going to drop. And it's going to be because all of a sudden, the blue wall is held. Or, I don't know. I'm long here now. We're long on one. I'm thinking of taking that head short. I'm ready. I got my order in. It'll probably be a pretty decent order. Maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 contracts of the MES. And I'm going to try to. I know 48. I know that. I know Donald Trump stock has popped, I think we drop tomorrow. I said it was a good shot at pop. It could even pop to pop up pretty big on the victory, but I think that's it. All right, what do we got here?
Great to be with you. Well, this is essentially Trump's home state now. He has declared residency in Florida. He voted in Florida earlier today, so the crowd here is a hometown crowd. We're in a convention center arena, essentially, and it is really filled. Red hats, kind of a sea of red hats everywhere. Just on the screen behind me, they projected that the former president won North Carolina. That's going off an AP projection. CBS News has not called that yet, at least as far as I know. But I want to talk a little bit about Trump's strategy over the past couple of days, where he went and what that signals in terms of what we're seeing in the results. He spent as much time in North Carolina over the past few days as he did in Pennsylvania.
Day Trading Radio.
North Carolina, a key state for him, a must-win state for him. They recognize that, spent a lot of time in the closing days trying to shore up that state, especially because of all the states that Trump won in 2020, North Carolina had the slimmest margin. We're also hearing from Trump campaign officials sharing what they're seeing in the exit poll data, and they're very encouraged by Trump's showing, at least in the exit polls, among Black, Latino, and young men. And remember, we've been talking about this for a while. This has been a specific pitch from the Trump campaign to reach male voters facing a wide gender gap, really leaning into male voters and specifically trying to widen out their support in terms of demographics among men. So again, we'll wait for those results.
Vote for president voters under 50.
At least in those exit polls. But the ballroom filling up here. The big question is whether Trump will come out and speak. He's been watching the returns at his resort in Mar-a-Lago with family and friends like Elon Musk. So we're just waiting
Elon
to
was
see
at the
whether
Trump. That's cool. Oh, imagine the party they're having.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns in West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you
Elon
so
Musk
much.
hanging with Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
CBS News,
whatever the place is
America
called.
Decides. Stay with us.
Oh, that would be great. All right, presidential betting odds have moved up here to 92% versus 8% of Kamala Harris coming out of the Kashi network here. Thank you, Zeron. And let me guys tell you, Zeron posts stuff on Sundays. That's incredible. He puts his research in a room on Sunday nights. If you guys ever come in and look at the information that Zeron posts, really quality information. Quality stuff. And you have to just come into the room and then kind of scroll back. Usually if they have the chat on, keep the chat on, If you have a computer on, just keep the chat on. He posts a lot of information, really good stuff. I always appreciate that. Sometimes I come in too late and he's not there anymore, but I always read his stuff. Anyway, there it is. That's what we're looking at. Hey, Kiki, watch what you're saying. She's my friend. Elon needs to... Liza, you can't be... Liza in the lion's den. Hey, get it on both sides. You called me 3 times. Why don't I hear anything, Trump? You mean on the phone? Or on the Skype? I don't hear my Skype. Let me see. Let me see why my Skype's not ringing. Oh, I see 9:54. I missed it. At one, I didn't see any miss. Oh, Orlando. I'm sorry. All right, sorry. Orlando. Well, Orlando's like that. He tells you he wants you, and then he'll never pick up. All right, there goes the market here, pushing the back up here. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Needed to win the White House.
211,
Here is where we
165.
stand right now. As you see, Donald Trump has 211, Kamala Harris 165. And part of those electoral votes include two new CBS News projections, Oregon and Washington State, both for the vice president. And in those all-important battleground states, you can see all 7 are in purple. In Georgia, CBS News now rates the presidential race there as lean Republican. And in North Carolina, CBS News now rates the race as lean Republican. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania, part of that blue wall.
Pennsylvania, lean Republican. This could be huge. That's why the market is popping right now.
In Michigan,
I want to take profits on
CBS
that.
News rates this race as a toss-up. The Secretary of State there telling
Michigan
us
now is a toss-up.
the vote counted by midnight. That doesn't mean we'll understand.
Look at that.
Know what
Look at that. 38.
is,
Look
but
at how they changed and how many votes.
and
It's like
Wisconsin,
8,000 votes.
rates this race as a
Oh, this is no. Come on, Donald Trump's going to beat that.
Let's check
This
in
is
on more
done.
of the Sun Belt states, including
This is a done deal.
just about half the vote there in Arizona. Look how close it is. Those prized 11 electoral votes. It is a toss-up at this hour. And then Nevada. Again, the vote, not enough of the vote yet in, but we rate that as a toss-up at this hour. As I mentioned just a short time ago, there's important news on the United States Senate. Let's go now to Scott McFarland, who covers Congress for us. Good evening, Scott.
Nora, this has such outsized impact on the next president. Which party controls the U.S. Senate? The evening began with Democrats and their feet in quicksand, immediately almost losing that West Virginia seat they've held for so many years.
Looks like we're going to pop a little further here.
Fighting an uphill battle and losing so many of them. Let's go to Ohio first. CBS News projects at this point it leans Republican. Bernie Moreno.
This is getting ugly for the Democrats. This is
Ohio
getting ugly.
leading Sherrod Brown, the 3-term Democratic incumbent from Northeast Ohio.
Goodbye.
He served in the U.S.
Hey,
House
hey,
before his
hey,
18 years in the U.S. Senate. He
Well, how'd it
literally
go?
wrote the book
Goodbye.
on Congress. Sherrod Brown is in trouble, and the trouble exists elsewhere as well. Let's go to Montana. The military veteran, the political newcomer Tim Sheehy, projected as a lean Republican race in Montana. The 3-term Democratic incumbent John Tester in trouble there.
Biden just what's going on. What's going on today? Anybody?
To offset these losses with such a narrow margin for error, they were bullish for a while on their prospects in Texas with
Mark here making a run to the highs.
player. Ted Cruz, who eked out
Again, earlier I was saying, if you get that prop account, it's probably not a bad guess. You take one long, one short, and you get that pop. We're very close to 5,900. I wouldn't be surprised to get a big pop to 5,900 and then kind of a sell-off.
Projected as the winner there. So there are no more outs for Democrats on this map. They still have to protect the state of Pennsylvania. They still have to protect Nevada. And look at Arizona. This is an open seat. The incumbent senator in Arizona is retiring. Ruben Gallego, the congressman from the Phoenix area, faring well early on. We forecast this one right now as lean Democrat against Carrie Lake, who lost her bid for governor 2 years ago. Let me quickly show you the U.S. House. Oh, by the way, control of the U.S. House is at stake tonight. I'm standing in the very narrow battleground seat races that exist. The magic number here is clear, 218. There really is a bunch of offsetting dynamics so far. Nora, quickly, in New York, Democrats making some inroads. There's a lean race that was held by a first-term Republican on Long Island, another one in central New York and Syracuse. Democrats faring well early, but Republicans also seem to be out of the gates good in some of their battleground races from Iowa through the tide.
All right, well, this is getting interesting. We're coming down to kind of like that 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock area. And this is looking pretty interesting.
Virginia. Scott McFarland.
Let's do an update.
Thank you very much. Scott, I'm sorry. Can I just, so does it look like Republicans could control both chambers?
Now, if you look at the chart, that chart I have here, this orange line has been, anything orange is usually a good level to watch. This might have been a eraser line from way back here. So you can see there's a lot of resistance right here. This orange line in our chart, a lot of resistance there. $5,900. Maybe we get a fast spike up to $5,900, but we are running into this each time. I almost want to take a short here just to play games tonight. It's not a bad short. I mean, it's not a bad exit on our part. Good exit, everyone.
Gail King. And Gail, we've been here now for several hours, and we're getting a little bit of a sense of how the night is going.
Yeah, and it seems that if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you're feeling very confident and encouraged, and if you're a Kamala Harris supporter, you're feeling a little worried at this particular time. Although we keep saying there's still a lot of votes to be counted. People say they still.
You know the wig she's wearing?
Even though at this particular time she seems to be underperforming in all.
Not that I care or
I
anything, but
do well. A friend of mine called me from
a lot of
Florida
hair.
this morning, clearly a red state, and said, America is in labor today,
and
hair. Today we'll find out if we are delivering a boy or a girl. Right now, as you sit here tonight, it looks very good for the Donald Trump team. And I think people are trying to figure out what is happening to Kamala Harris.
You're listening today, Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try
I think the vote is still being counted in Pennsylvania.
At DTR.
Yes, and we certainly don't know what's happening in Arizona or Nevada.
If you guys are in the Philadelphia area, Liza does great hair. She used to do my hair up here in New York.
Because they were the first to close, we were able to.
If you're in the Philadelphia area.
Republican. And so, just as the hours go on and more votes come in, we'll have a better sense, I think, of what's happening there. But look,
you know what I think is troubling, though, Nora, is that she seems to be underperforming in areas that they thought she would do well. Certainly among women, certainly among the reproductive rights, certainly among some of the black voters. That's why.
Salon822.com. Salon822.com.
Gail, thank you.
There we go.
Bring in Robert Costa on that note. Robert.
Mention your Day Trading Radio member, and she'll give you 10% off. Sorry, ladies, I just had to do it. 10% off. Day Trading Radio members.
Mike Johnson just made remarks in Louisiana to his supporters. He believes he will enter next year as the Speaker of the House should he win the gavel again with more Republicans in the House.
That's like getting $25,000 off for new home buyers. And we're just going to raise the price $25,000
in Donald Trump. So you're looking potentially, and to Gail's point, it's early in the night. A lot of votes still need to be counted, but Republicans are already tonight at this hour getting confident about what could be a very ambitious policy agenda next year.
And it's not just Republican senators. These will be Republican senators, very different than the Republican senators who were there when Donald Trump won in 2016. Jeff Flake, John McCain, Mitt Romney, those three are all gone, and these are Republican senators who grow up out of and into the Trump politics. It'll be if Donald Trump wins, a different Washington different Republican majority.
We are pleased to be joined now by South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn. And Congressman Clyburn, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very
you
much.
have seen so far tonight, do you believe there is still a path to victory for Vice President Harris?
No, I don't.
Well, there's still a path, but it's thorny, and we'll see how it comes out. The fact of the matter is that the blue wall is still there, though there seems to be some underperforming in some areas where we thought we were in good shape. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's not over yet.
Mm-hmm. And what about what you just heard from Speaker Johnson, that he is predicting that he will retain control in the House of Representatives?
This shit is done.
Well, I hope he's not right about that. I have not looked at all of the House seats, quite frankly. California, I'm sure it's going to be a long time.
Southside divergence. I was looking at something here.
There are a couple of seats in New York.
But I want to hold off on this one.
Two that I expected to win. Looks like we won them. But the other two, not so much.
Because we're up here above 80. Again, the market's super strong, so you have to pick your battles. It's not a big divergence. Could be a bull flag. 2020 bull flags defeat divergences.
And North Carolina, states near your home state, as lean Republican at this hour.
I mean, we have a fast rotation. This stuff's above 80. We get a trigger for a bull flag. We stay above the 20 here.
For the Vice President, I know you know just about everybody in the Democratic Party. What is their concern tonight? Where is she underperforming?
There seems to be some underperforming taking place in Pennsylvania, really. I thought that there was some counties in Pennsylvania we seem not to be performing as well then. There's some that will look like we're winning, and still by a lesser margin than I expected. I'm really concerned about Michigan as well. So I hate to, not knowing where all the votes are coming from, I hate to
What if I have a picture on my
make any predictions based upon the totals, unless I knew.
on my my pirate radio show. We did a lot of stuff with me on pirate radio.
It could very well be a pocket that would be favorable to us, but I'll wait to see before I make any concessions.
Congressman Jim Clyburn, thank you so much for your time.
I think we got something coming up here.
News projection for the battleground state of North Carolina and its 16 electoral votes. We can project that Trump will win North Carolina. That is a state that he won in 2020 and
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
So this was a must-win state, I think, for President Trump, and he has delivered today in part by turning out strong supporters in rural areas, just as he did in Virginia and other states, as we are seeing tonight. That is where his base is. So that moves Donald Trump to 227 electoral votes. Let's go now to Anthony Salvanto and Major Garrett. Good evening, guys.
So we're going to explain how we were able to make this call. And it's significant, I think, Anthony, to share with the audience. Trump won this state, North Carolina, by just over 74,000 votes in 2020. We project he's going to win by a substantially larger number of votes than that.
So this gets very simple. I'm going to show you what the outstanding vote is and where it is. And you think, okay, here are Democratic areas, yes, but
Look at this. I want to show you some pictures.
Have gotten a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. They are not large enough, even if they all go Democratic, for Kamala Harris to catch up. Okay, and then I'm going to show you this because the needs which we project for her in that outstanding vote, she needs 61% of it to catch up. I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to show you what our models show. She's still tracking to get only 47%. This comparison right
that's not
here
Laiza. This was Laiza's girlfriend when she lived in Nyack.
Get the turnout she needed, and I will add, Donald Trump
That's
did
what on the right.
just fine tracking with his
Renee.
target
That was who was that again? I forget. But that's not the one I was thinking of. I just ran across that.
Doing just fine tracking with his 2020 patterns in county after county, and that's where he ran up the score.
And Anthony, it shows our viewers what we call colloquially here, doesn't sound like a colloquial word, extrusion.
The extrusion. Okay, I'm going to back this out for a second. So to do that, you're going to see where the vote comes from. And here what you see is the higher bars are more people. And yes, those are Democratic areas. But you also see all these areas, including in the western part of the state, red counties. And that's where Donald Trump consistently performed as well as he needed to, compared to 2020, compared to his vote targets this time. So once I see at the decision desk those patterns emerging, then you can get closer and then make the projection, Nora.
All right, Anthony and Major, thank you. Margaret?
Thank you, Nora. Well, joining us now is Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Senator Rubio, I think you're over here. I don't know if you can hear me and see me. I can see
Here's
you now.
Dolly. You want to see a good picture of Dolly?
Talk to you again. You know, when we spoke on Sunday on Face the Nation, you told me that the Harris campaign had a problem with turning out men.
Turning out
men. Are you seeing
men.
that tonight? And what are you seeing in terms of who is a decisive factor here for the Trump campaign?
Well, let's be clear. We don't know yet anything. I mean, we're still counting votes, as you said. There's still states out there, so I'm not going to claim anything. But I am going to say, and I'm sure your exit polls are showing this as well, you know, Donald Trump is winning a majority of the new voters. I think he's actually won over 5 or 6% of Biden voters. He's done exceptionally well among African-American men, doing incredibly well among Hispanic men, overperforming in Hispanic precincts and neighborhoods in Reading, just outside of Philadelphia, as an example.
I'm trying to find some of the pictures here.
We don't know what the outcome's going to be, but what
This
we know
is,
right now
I'll show you Eliza.
is
She
going to
just sent me a
fundamentally
picture
remake
of
not
her.
just the Republican Party, but what we know about American politics. I think it's time to begin to realize that the primary identity that voters bring to the
I just
ballot
sent it
box
to myself.
is
I
not
don't
the
see it
color
now.
of their skin, their ethnicity.
Didn't I send it
It's
to
what they
myself?
do
Oh,
for
no,
a
I
living.
didn't. Hold on.
It's how much money they make or don't make. It's how hard life is for them. And I think that's really what we're seeing come through tonight. And you're going to see more of that when Nevada begins to come through, and Arizona more and more. But we're certainly seeing that tonight in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, everywhere we've looked.
I just sent it to myself.
Senator, in your home state of Florida, there was an abortion-related measure tonight that failed. It failed to hit that 60% supermajority threshold that would enshrine access to reproductive rights beyond the 6-week limit that is the
So this
current
is
state law.
this is this is Liza in the middle here. She's in our room. It's me. That's Connell Fowlkes, world famous Grammy winner, musician. That's my wife, Courtney.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
That issue back to states. And, you know, there's been votes in other states like Ohio and Kansas where the vote went in a different direction when it was done. So I imagine it's probably not the last time we'll see that issue on the ballot in Florida, and certainly not the last time we'll see that issue debated nationally.
Well, with 57% of the voters saying they would like to have a broader access, that would be interesting to revisit. But let's talk about control of the Senate and Congress right now. It looks like that is going to be perhaps a tremendous either asset to the next commander-in-chief or the brakes on the agenda for perhaps a future Trump administration. What are you thinking there in terms of what those day one issues would be if Donald Trump is victorious tonight?
Well, I think he's been pretty clear what those are. The first is the securing our border. I think you're seeing across the board. I'm especially, I especially point to how concerned they are in Hispanic communities about what illegal migrants who are criminals that are coming into this country already with criminal records, they're coming to Hispanic communities. That's something that's been forgotten here. You're seeing that play out tonight. So I think that's going to be top of the agenda. And then our economy, the cost of living. You look at Philadelphia, I think the Philadelphia and its suburbs have the highest increase in food costs of anywhere in the country. That's a factor here tonight. That's a factor in this election.
Hey, I found it. I found this. Hold on.
And I think there's concern about the state of the world.
Check this out.
Donald
This is
Trump
a good
did
picture.
something that no Republicans.
I always like this picture of Eliza.
And that is position himself as a candidate
see if
of
I
peace
can
and
get it on
stability,
here.
not getting into wars, but preventing them through strength, but preventing them. I think that's a valuable lesson. I do want to point out, we don't know yet the numbers finally, but in Ohio, a Colombian American, Bernie Moreno, is on the verge of victory. In Pennsylvania and Montana. So, there would be a real responsibility of governing that comes with a majority that gets to 53 or maybe even 54.
Indeed. Senator Rubio joining us there from the Trump campaign headquarters. Nora?
So this is Eliza. This is Frankie. Look at she has a black eye. Tough. Look at Frankie. She has a black eye, which is really cool. This looks badass. Eliza, where am I thinking? I'm in the background. This is who was that? That was Maggie. I think this girl was Maggie. I don't know who's sitting behind Eliza. Cutie pie. Still have the shirt. That was great.
I do remember on the floor of the convention the day that Vance was picked, Moreno turned to me and said, well, I may end up being the senior senator of Ohio by January. And everyone kind of went, hey, don't get ahead of yourself. But it very well could happen if J.D. Vance is headed to the vice president.
I just want to underscore what Senator Rubio brought up there. In terms of, we spent so much time talking about the Latino vote and talking about the economy. Those are the two things he said we're thinking of in the wrong way. Don't look at people based on
I thought about that earlier. I said, wow, Philadelphia, or actually Philadelphia, that whole Philadelphia was like really Kamala thing. But that's, every time I watch something like on YouTube and they show you that street down in Philadelphia and everyone's like zombied out on the drugs, it's like there's a lot of bad things going on in Philadelphia. And you would think they want things better. And it's been going on like that. Liza, you're from Philadelphia. Liza's from Philadelphia in the room.
I asked.
And when I heard that, I was like, should I ask her about like the homeless down there? Because I don't love watching them, but sometimes I turn on those videos and they're down there in Philadelphia. I think it's called Kensington Avenue, maybe Kensington. And it's just like they are all on. They're walking around or they're standing there swaying like they're on they're zombies. so many drugs and stuff. I said, then I see that Philadelphia is 80% Kamala. I was like, wow, you want that to change.
When Nixon and Reagan were elected, there were half of the states they won had Democratic senators. Now that's almost down to zero, and it may be down to zero by the end of tonight.
Which means the Senate will become even more partisan, less a deliberative body, as it is known, the most deliberative body on earth. Go ahead, and then
But it is becoming a more diverse body. We should point out, Bernie Moreno is Colombian. Ruben Gallego looks like he's on path to join the Senate as well in Arizona. We have 2 black women from Delaware and Maryland elected tonight.
Market coming out of this.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Wow, Harris is catching up, huh?
Numbers with men. He's only ahead by 10 points with men nationally. He won by 15 in North Carolina. White voters with no college degree won them 72-27. That's larger than his already very large national margin on that. So essentially, he's outperforming himself in North Carolina. He's outperforming his national numbers. New voters, you heard Senator Rubio there talking about new voters. Nationally, Trump is winning with new voters by 7 points. Here you see
I want to put an order in here. Sell stop. Just in case we get a flush. I'm just going to test it out. Just in case we get a flush.
Insight into why he won North Carolina.
I want to just see if we can catch something. It might not even. Who knows?
John, and I'm thinking about some of the things that we have heard over the course of this campaign. And
What were my options on it? Can I do a
some of these,
stop?
but from the former president, the vulgarity that we've heard talking about.
Yeah. Let me do a stop limit here.
We all remember that comment and the locker room and doing all the Joe Rogan podcasts and the Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off at MSG and all of this. I think
gesticulating with the microphone.
The gesticulation at the microphone. That so
Gesticulation of the microphone.
I'm sorry. What is happening? How is that possibly going to appeal to people? And what we're seeing tonight is that it actually is not a turnoff to many people, to many of the male supporters, particularly who sat in MSG and cheered it on. And that was particularly a very bro-y feel, a very dark rally that we all talked about in the wake of it. And the question was, is this going to help Trump expand his base? And what you just said right now, it actually very well may be.
He won bros in North Carolina by 21 points.
Mm-hmm. I just want to point out, we may be able to show this. In the popular vote right now, Trump has over 59 million and Harris has over 55 million. So he is currently winning the popular vote. When we come back, polls close in Hawaii, and we will continue to follow the latest results. You're watching CBS News, America Decides.
Were they going to, how was it that happened the last time? I didn't tell them. Let me get that. Why is it here? All right. Well, we get that pop to 5,900. Let's see. I think we'll take a contract here just to try to get a. Something's gonna happen here. Maybe we'll take 2. What the hell? I would like to sell on a pop to 5,900. So let's go up here to about 50,895. We'll sell another good picture of Dawit. This is a good Dawit left already, but this is a good picture of Dawit. With two hot girls. I got so many great stuff. Oh my God. Oh, well, it was good times back then. Liza, like that picture. You remember Renee, right, Liza? Which one is Dawit?
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Across the country are right now. And so the Harris campaign chair, Jen O'Malley Dillon, has put out a memo trying to reassure nervous Democrats. She said that this is a razor-thin race, but that they still believe that the blue wall, this trio of states, Wisconsin, Pennsilvania, and Michigan,
Yeah, this is Dawit here. You can't.
She's feeling good about what she's
over
seeing.
right there. You know what Dawit is.
Caution that there are a lot of outstanding votes in Wisconsin that won't come in until 3 to 5 in the morning. Obviously, we know we won't get some of Pennsylvania's votes in until tomorrow. But this is basically the best she can do to reassure people right now. A short time ago,
Reassure people.
Jim Clyburn, one of the leading Democrats in the House, a true veteran, expressed his own concerns. He said there is still a path, but it is narrowing. And here at Kamala Harris campaign headquarters at her alma mater of Howard
I think so. That was the movie launch.
has been extremely muted.
The crowd has been extremely muted here. Hey, Dawit, how you doing?
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good.
I just found you a live video of Trump is going to speak on the election. Check your email. I just sent you a YouTube link.
Oh, you sent to the email?
On your email. I don't actually yahoo.com.
Okay.
Trump is going to speak.
Okay.
So they're talking about the election on that too.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll bring it on here, but I'll try it. I'll check your thing. Get some sleep. You sound tired.
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
All right. Thanks, Dawit.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Exhausted. Oh, market here dropping here a little. Get out of that. Oh, giving all back. I'm just curious to see what happens here. Last minute shenanigans coming in here.
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Right. Always glad to see you. Get some sleep. Pick it up tomorrow. Any more with the? I don't know if Zeron's out there. So some people are posting in the room that Seattle's already on fire. Like they're burning. They're starting to send things on fire. Anybody? Anything? We have a couple more. Let's see what we have coming up here.
On the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast so far. A big night for Republicans and Donald Trump. CBS News projects the former president has already won North Carolina, a key battleground, and the Senate is lean Republican at this hour. Polls are closed.
Now, this is not supposed to be. Well,
Only Alaska is still voting, but of course.
What is it? How does this go again? It's better to have a split government. Will we still have a split government? A split Congress?
Trump has 230 electoral votes. Kamala Harris has 176 electoral votes. And let's take a look at the blue wall states. Harris campaign manager saying she still believes there is a path to victory with the blue wall states. CBS News rates the states of Michigan, Pennsylvania,
they refuse to give it up here. It says toss up.
This hour. And along the southern route of battleground states, CBS News characterizes
Georgia's
Arizona
closer than the other ones, and it's a lean Republican.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtnr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Has been studying the exit polls. What accounts for where we are at this point of the night? We should note that all the votes are not in. Things can change. The only state we've projected is North Carolina. But where are we?
Well, let's step away for a moment from the exit polls just to think about, no matter what happens with Donald Trump tonight, think of the comeback he has made after the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, in which his party pushed him away. Then in 2022, his candidates did not do well in their races. The hangover of Donald Trump. He is now tonight outperforming what was expected. I mean, he's doing well in the areas where he was supposed to be doing. His opponent is not doing as well in some places. He's bringing in Senate candidates who have run on his ticket with him.
It looks like Donald Trump's going to speak.
So just as a matter, whatever happens
is he
tonight,
speaking here?
in terms of a political comeback story,
let's listen to him. Shut the hell up, buddy.
Totally redesigned a party around his views on the economy, immigration.
Oh, that's November 4th.
It's already
Pittsburgh.
The fact that he's doing so well and it's so close is quite an extraordinary comeback for him.
Well, in addition to not only what happened on January 6th, even following those two impeachment
You know what?
trials,
Let's talk about Benghazi.
then two assassination attempts, convicted felon.
You want to go back in time?
Multiple federal felony counts against him.
Senior members of his national security team all saying he should not be allowed near power.
I was just showing ladies.
I mean, these are not rinky-dink people. These are former secretaries of state, national security advisors. I would also note, and Marco Rubio touched on this, and it'll be one of the stories of the night, is the realignment that might be going on in American politics. No longer by race and age, but now education, job. The forgotten man that Donald Trump talked about in his inaugural address in 2017, the forgotten man is voting for Donald Trump. And he's making inroads. He'll do better with African-American voters than any Republican has ever done. With Latino voters, better than any Republican has ever done. He's not just changing the party.
Because he got shot. He's
may
a gangster.
very well be changing American politics.
No, I wanted
he has street
pick
cred
up what
now.
John is saying, and you too. It's just Cecilia, when you said, you know, you used to think it was about your morals, your integrity, and your character. You know, when we started out the evening, we said that the Harris campaign said that they were nauseously optimistic. Last time I checked, nausea is never a good thing. The Trump campaign was cautiously optimistic. And when I was in Pennsylvania talking to people, I had person after person, Trump supporter, say to me, yeah, he's mouthy, but I'm mouthy. Yeah, he doesn't tell the truth, but every politician lies. Yeah, he doesn't represent the values that I hold dear, but that's not what I'm looking for. I want to know, can this person do the job? And time after time after time, it came back to immigration, really hard on immigration, and the economy. But when I asked, who would you trust to babysit your children? Nobody. Only one person chose Donald Trump. And I just think when you put it in that context.
Well, no, Donald Trump would say, I have time to watch it. Let me hire a bunch of experts and make sure your children's okay. That's a stupid question.
So the Harris campaign is still nauseously optimistic, but I bet they're getting a little sicker now as the night progresses.
There is this realignment, to pick up on what John was saying, that we are watching play out in terms of who's...
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We want a president who's a babysitter to bring everyone in, and let's just hand it out.
Commander-in-chief question, you know, who is going
That's
to take
what we're
office
hiring,
at the time when the
babysitters.
world is watching this.
All right, I just got triggered into a short here. I want to leave this run. This is just a hedge against if something happens and it changes to see if we get a selling. Of course.
And we are going to be digesting this.
I want to let this run its
when we
course.
wake up tomorrow morning to figure out what's next. A third of the world has had a female leader. This country has not. And tonight, this is also a test of whether a woman could be a commander-in-chief of this country, elected in a very short runway of an election against a man who has presented himself, despite what his national security advisors say, as about strength, as about he puts fear in other people, therefore you won't see that realignment or that threat around the world come to these shores. That's the package he's selling in his national security argument.
Okay.
And it's just something to chew on tonight as we wait to see who gets to 270. There are just some major tests that go, I think, beyond this moment when we talk about gender, when we talk about, you know, projections of power.
You are listening to Day Trading Radio. Sign up completely for free with no credit card. You can try out all of our services for 10 days at dtr.tv/free. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
All right, let's bring in Robert Costa on this matter. Robert?
Some new reporting from former President Trump's inner circle at Mar-a-Lago tonight. It is just past midnight on the East Coast. People close to Trump tell me, just in the last few minutes, that it is notable that he has not yet made a statement. He is holding back from making remarks tonight because there is a growing sense inside of Trump's inner circle at the highest ranks of the campaign that tonight is shaping up well for Trump. The vote is still being counted, but there was talk early on, as we discussed, former chief strategist Steve Bannon and others urging Trump to get out there and declare victory. He has not done that yet because there is a belief that he could win it within the next 6 to 12 hours outright. They're not betting that yet, but they're holding him back, and he's telling people behind the scenes he feels very good that Republicans are turning out. When I spoke to him just before we went to air, he said immigration, more than anything, is overwhelming this race. He believes, in his view, that by focusing on border security, he wins over people who might have questions about his character, his conduct, January 6th. But the way he's framing the country as an argument, casting the Biden-Harris administration as a bleak place that's managing a country in decline. He believes if he hammers that and immigration, he could win. That was his bet from day one of this campaign. There's a belief inside Trump's campaign tonight that it could be paying off.
All right, he'll still say, Bob, the election was rigged?
If he wins?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I doubt it too.
It is still early in the night with a number of votes to be counted. Let's go now to Major Garrett at the data desk because we have not projected 6 of those 7 battleground states. We want to know what we see as those votes are coming in. Major?
So, Nora and team, there are toss-up status for Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That is a fact. We have not changed or altered our projections. But there are trends within the toss-up designation that we must look at and look at closely. I'm going to start in Wisconsin. I'm going to move across the so-called blue wall. Let's look at Wisconsin. I'm only going to show you one thing.
Look at this. This is over.
What Kamala Harris needs, the vice president needs to prevail in Wisconsin and capture its 10 electoral votes.
Market
You
just
see
flushed.
that, 56%.
It just flushed.
Reveal?
300, 400,
$400.
$400.
Substantial gap.
Order submitted.
Now go
Order filled.
next door to across the lake to Michigan. All right,
$300.
Same question. What does Kamala Harris need? And we're talking about this in the sense that this is what her campaign manager, General O'Malley Dillon, has said is the place that this is a still winnable race. 52% in Michigan, outstanding vote. What is our CBS News estimate of the outstanding vote that she was likely to capture? 48%. That's a 4% gap. It is not catastrophic, but it is not a positive directional indicator. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Again, the same basic question. What does the vice president need, and what do we project? 57% is the need, 53% is the CBS News current estimate, with 85% of the vote in. These are trend lines beneath the toss-up designation, and these are not trend lines that augur well for the Harris campaign. And to Bob's point, that is why at Mar-a-Lago, the Trump inner circle believes what they have always said has come to fruition, that Trump is a turnout machine. If he was polling equally in this race as he was in all the battleground states, he was going to overperform, even if it's just a tick or two, and that would make him highly competitive in every single battleground state. That is the trend beneath the toss-up